Hey, South Asia Valorant players, I'm Sean Garris.
It's Kusta.
And Michael from Genji Valorant here with some really exciting news.
We have teamed up with LG Ultragear and the Esports Club for Season 2 of the Gauntlet.
The winner of Tec Gauntlet Season 2 will receive an exclusive one-on-one mentoring session with our Valorant team to help identify areas of improvement in their game to prepare for a higher level of gameplay.
In addition to that, we're going to be reacting to some of the top plays throughout this competition. Guys, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so make sure you don't miss out on this. Good luck to everyone competing from everyone here at Genji Valorant.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the LG Ultragear Tec Gauntlet Season 2, powered by W Black and AMD Ryzen Radiant. As we are back once again, the high intense octane action is just not going to stop today because, hey, we still have the upper bracket finals to go. And you know for a fact that we're not going to be missing out on that. It's going to be your boy Aggressive, joined by Floki this time around to bring you an intense matchup for today. So let's head on down over onto today's fixtures and see exactly which teams are going to be playing for the 8 p.m. game. And we had a very intense game of Force One versus Reckoning right up the get-go. That was
that's not how I recall it. I wouldn't call it intense aggressive. Sorry, that rubs you off the wrong way, but yeah, I mean the first half of Ascent was intense. I'll give you that, but the second half, Force One just bit of a shellacking here towards Reckoning. But Reckoning, considering that they're a new org, considering that they really haven't had all that much time to gel and mesh with each other, I think this is a very solid showing for them, and I'm very excited to see what they get, what they bring to the table for the next season. With that said, though, Velocity versus EXO, I personally haven't casted a single EXO game so far, so this is going to be a bit of a new one for me. But Velocity, I've seen plenty of, and if I know anything, then this game is going to be super close because you've got a lot of history behind both of these orgs and players.
So let's head on down over towards the MVP standings, ladies and gentlemen, and see exactly who's been tearing up the server the most in comparison to all the others. And hey, we do see that the side of Knight Rider, he's been tearing it up so much throughout the entire tournament. Knight Rider being on number 1 is something that I personally did not expect, because when you consider what happened in season number 1, he was not here. He was not in the MVP standings whatsoever. But now that he is back in form, now that he is showcasing what he can really do and what he can be good at when you just let him off the leash, he deserves this number 1 position here, Floki. But at the same time, look at what the other players are like. It's going to be Eskeros, it's going to be Paradox, it's going to be Rawfield. Sadly, Eskeros is not going to be able to make any more plays happen, because you know what happened down in the bottom as well as
Oh,
I do.
yeah. I mean, I made that mistake today. I just got, oh yeah, global esports, we're going to be seeing them in the low bracket as well. But it turns out I completely forgot that Enigma, won against them in a way that didn't give global esports the best of looks. But hey, Knight Rider's still here from the MVP standings. He's still surviving. And whoever loses this match will face his wrath in the lower bracket finals, because, the loser of this plays out against Force One for a slot in that grand finals again.
Yeah, we never really know what's going to be happening here when you consider the amount of potential that all these fraggers have on their side. And in a way, the saddest part of the entire story is that look at from the very top and look at all to the very bottom. When you consider what's been happening here, the thing is that Nitro is the only one who's still in the running. His team is the only one who's still there. Everyone else already have been kicked out, but I guess in a way they're still able to hold their positions because of the amount of performances they have done back in the brackets. But it's completely fine. It's completely nightly. Let's head on down over towards the brackets here, ladies and gentlemen, and see exactly what I'm talking about. Which of these teams are going to be playing? Which of these teams are going to be moving on down forward? Because now this is a match where I really want to see what's going to be holding. Force One, they've already showcased their skills. They are once again in that third place position, regardless. They're your third place finish when you consider season number 1. They are going to be your third place finish when you consider season number 2. If they lose out to the team, whichever loses out here, Velocity versus Team Exo. I want your thoughts on this. This is possibly the new Val Classico when you consider that GE is no longer in the running.
True, I 100% agree with you. I feel like this match, it might be a lot closer than some people, are going to give it credit for. But hey, I mean, Velocity going up against EXO, these players, they've played on the same team and now they're playing against each other. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of history behind this. I'm sure there's going to be, a lot of taunting, just friendly stuff between Velocity and EXO. It might even see a little bit of BM, a little bit of teabagging, but it's all in good faith because these guys have known each other for the longest time. But when we actually talk about the game, I don't really know what to expect. Velocity, they had been shaping up rather well, but they've had some losses in the group stages that did make me question their approach. And so far, they have been making it to the upper bracket finals, but they did drop one map each against Global and Valor. So I mean, I'm not too sure what to make of that. I have a feeling that Velocity, they do not have that same luxury of, being a lax with EXO as they might have had with Valor a little bit. Valor is a team that, of course, they drew the short end of the stick earlier in the groups when they did lose out to them, but they got their revenge this time around, and I'm hoping that Team EXO posts enough of a challenge for them because. Yeah, I mean, there are times where Velocity just wakes up on the right side of the bed and just goes full throttle. But there are also times where Team Velocity, they can be caught a little bit off guard. Sometimes a player makes an individual call, it doesn't really work out, and then Velocity just seem to collapse.
Yeah, it really does hold the question that are they going to be able to perform to the best of abilities? Because you need to consider this is still Velocity 2.0. The recent addition of Deathmaker did change up a lot of the strategies that Velocity are well known for, so they're still trying to adjust. They're still trying to calibrate Deathmaker to the best possible ability that they have moving on down the line. But hey, let's talk about the side of Velocity incomplete as we head on down over onto their team intro, ladies and gentlemen, to see exactly we're going to be the ones to tear up the server from their side the most. And Floki, do you want to talk us right through the roster and go into a little bit more depth of why exactly you believe that Velocity are having these shortcomings here?
I mean, I'm not too sure why that has been happening to Velocity. It just seems that every single time they go up against a team, they have a particular read on them. That read is half right, but sometimes it's wrong too, right? Sometimes you just end up not really knowing what Velocity are going to do and they catch you by the hip. It's really been that 50-50 for me. And when you look at their lineup, of course, MW1 is no longer in it. They've got some couple of new additions here in the roster, but overall, their roster is pretty solid. You've got Hellfighter, Amaterasu, Right to Ace, Mazel. These four guys have stuck around with each other for the longest time. And with the addition of Deathmaker, the fragging department looks pretty solid. It's really the shot calling as well as the mid-round decisions that make or break this team. Hellfighter is a terrific lurker. Hellfighter has just been picking up that role ever since Vibhor has left the team, and he's been doing a fantastic job of it. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say about Velocity. Just that sometimes they get read and sometimes they get caught off guard. And yeah, I mean, other teams have been catching up to them. So Velocity, their reign could be a little bit of it at a bit of a risk here because yeah, I mean, global esports have beaten them a couple of times now. Valor also got to them, and I'm pretty sure at this rate, Velocity, they might be staring down the barrel of another loss when they're going up against EXO, because EXO early on in the first season, we really wouldn't have predicted them to make it all the way here so far, but yeah, with a little bit of bracket luck on their side, they've made it to the upper bracket finals, and I'm not too sure if Velocity can stop the force that is Team EXO.
Yeah, Team EXO, they're going to be really dangerous. But at the same time, if there's one person that we can count on to try and stop Team EXO, it has to be the player spotlight from the side of Velocity, powered by none other than AMD Ryzen Radiant. So let's see who's going to be the player to hold down the spotlight here, Floki, to be the one to bring the real hurt. So give us your thoughts.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I'm not too sure when. Okay, just real quick. I need to reconnect to the server. I seem to be having some issues. Be right back.
Yeah, we are having a little bit of a technical difficulty from our side. We're going to be fixing that one up and we're going to be seeing it soon. But the thing is, when you talk about the players and how they're actually being held here, the real question is, will the side of Velocity be able to perform to the best of their abilities? Because Deathmaker being a spotlight for them, the thing is, Deathmaker, he's an incredible fragger. He can completely tear through the entire server. But the thing with him, Floki, is that this is a new team. They still haven't unlocked him to the best of his own abilities. Yes, he has a really good showing already. 153 kills, 117 deaths. Let's say he's being on 23, ACS on 264. He's not going to be going on down over to the MVP standings anytime soon because of how late he joined into the tournament. But the thing is, he's already showing his impact. But there's also another problem. A lot of the other teams can shut down Velocity because Deathmaker hasn't fully integrated into the roster. And I'm really hoping to see them finally find a way to make Deathmaker feel comfortable on the squad. Because currently it feels like Deathmaker feels a little bit out of place and he's just trying to fit in as much as he can.
I agree. I mean, I've really seen Deathmaker stand out like a sore thumb, and in a good way. He's always striking out. He's always getting those kills. But like you said, that synchronization just seems to be a little bit off. With Velocity, he can really turn himself on when need be. Other times, he just tends to be a little bit short of the mark. Sometimes he gets a little bit too aggressive, gets a little bit too ahead of himself, learns his lesson and comes back. But this is Deathmaker we're talking about. Once he learns what his limits are, he's very good around navigating that thin line between overextending and getting as much value as possible out of every single peak, out of every single piece of utility he throws. So yeah, I'm really curious to see what Deathmaker brings to the table this time around against EXO, because the people he is playing against today were his former teammates, so they're gonna have some idea of how Deathmaker likes to play, and you could even possibly see a lot of counter-stratting coming in from the side of EXO, because I feel like EXO is a team that if they see a weakness in you and they know that you somewhat lacking over here, they're gonna attack it straight up. They're not gonna show any fear, any hesitation whatsoever. But you never know. EXO could also just fall flat on their face. It's really a big 50-50 for me. It's about EXO having the right read, and I think we should be having a look at their spotlight soon enough to see what their lineup is made up of. Real quick, although do have a fair idea about what players are playing in that lineup.
When you consider the side of Team EXO, though, Team EXO, the thing is, their squad is really, really, really potent. They have a lot of firepower on their roster. They know exactly what to do moving on down the line for a lot of their different engagements. But the thing is, EXO, they have a consistency problem. The roster meshes really well together. Sai doing a lot of the calling from time to time, Web taking over as well. The IGLing is beautiful from their side, but the thing is, sometimes the execution just falls flat on their faces, because when you have injury fraggers like Excali, like Ghost, who like to just go in your face as much as they possibly can and try to take real estate away from your opposition, sometimes a lot of mistakes do happen. This team is known for their aggression. Back when they were side of Samurai as well, We knew them for aggression, and this is the team that constantly goes in your face and constantly tries to take every single engagement. And the thing is, this roster performs even better at Icebox in some way, shape, or form. Excali just finds a way, gets on top of Raptors, and just shoots people down before they can even take a breath. They just come out of spawn and they're like, wait, why is Excali here? Why is Ghost here? Both of them are just rushing them down together, gets like 2 kills and gets back out. But at the same time, you know for a fact that it's not always a good thing. Because when they do this, they become really predictable. And Team EXO, in my eyes, they suffer a lot from predictability. So as we do head on down over onto their player spotlight powered by AMD Ryzen Radiant, I'm really hoping that the spotlight here will give them this player in the spotlight here, Excali himself, will switch up his strategies just a tiny little bit so that they could have a little bit more emphasis on let's say adaptability and mix-ups, because I feel as though EXO, they get predictable way too easily.
Really, I think one of the underrated aspects of Valorant and one of the ones that can get looked over is really how your two duelists function, right? Because if you have two duelists who are communicating with each other, who are deciding who's going to be aggressive, where they're going to be aggressive, and what sort of position they're going to like to play, you can sort of just play in harmony, right? One can be aggressive on some part of the map, the other can chill, just get himself into a good position, try and play for some information. And, that is something that seems to be missing from the side of EXO. Usually it's Excali going out there guns blazing, trying to, just make sure he either, completely demolishes the enemy team in the round, or he gets demolished in the process. There's no real in between for this guy. Ghost, on the other hand, he is a player who loves being aggressive, but with someone like Excali on his team, he really needs to take a backseat a couple of times. And I think that actually stifles the potential that EXO have. I think Excali having a bit more experience, if he actually plays this one a little bit more calm, he can really enable Ghost to bring out the most in him. Ghost has been fundamental to Enigma's success in the first season, and I think EXO have learned from that. So, as long as they give Ghost some space to work with, I think both of these players can really, really shine. And I'm hoping that happens for this particular game. Because against Velocity, well, you better have a big strat book, because Velocity are going to make you exhaust every single last page of that. These guys, they are masters of just getting a stranglehold on their opponents.
Speaking of the side of strategies, let's see what kind of strats they need to pull out as we head on down over to the map video screen to see exactly where we're going to be headed for this legendary new, possibly new Battle Classico, I mean. And it's going to be Icebox right off the get-go. And this is a map picked up by the side of Velocity. Okay, I'm a little bit worried about this. Velocity picking up Icebox, considering their track record on this map. Yes, they have won out on all their maps almost. They have a really strong win rate on this, but I'm really scared and worried for them because they have a tendency of dropping the ball when they're on the 12th round from time to time on this one. And when you consider Team EXO, getting to that 12th in general will be really difficult, because I was talking about this previously, wasn't that? Excali and Ghost, they love to go in for very aggressive pushes on this map, and they can actually get away with it because Icebox allows you to be aggressive on the defensive side, and you have a lot of different ways of getting out if you play it really smartly. So Velocity, are they digging their own grave, or is this a plan that they've been shaping up for a really long time to go up against EXO?
Absolutely. And I feel like that is going to be one of the more important aspects of Velocity to try and counter, is just, how aggressive both of these players like to play. Excali and Coast, just predicting where that aggression has come from. What if they can't really, put a finger on where they think the aggression is going to come from? Just taking a chill pill, relaxing, playing for information, baiting out those shots, just getting good information all around the map, and then, building their game plan from there. It's good to have a game plan. It's good to have one set in stone. But when you're against players like Excali and Coast, that plan has to be malleable. It has to be beaten into other forms and other shapes, so that when necessary on the fly, you can switch things up and take advantage of the holes in the enemy's defense. And EXO, while they look really, really strong on Icebox, it's not something that Velocity can't deal with. I think with the right agents, with the right users of utility, they can definitely get themselves into a lot of positions that they might not anticipate, especially with Hellfighter, usually picking up that Viper on this map. I think there's a lot of potential for the side of Velocity to just they put a couple of question marks inside the head of Team EXO, and really make them wonder where that hit is going to come from. And I think that largely plays, and that's largely going to be set up by the information that they find in those early rounds. So I'm really hoping that Velocity take it a bit slow, because EXO, they're aggressive, even on defense. When they start off, they're going to try to make something happen. But, with the side of EXO actually starting out on attack, maybe Velocity are going to get that little bit of respite that they need to try and just figure out how is it that EXO thinks of this map, and how is it that they like to play around Icebox.
Icebox, I don't know how I feel about the first initial map. It could go either way, but when you consider
Mm-hmm.
map number 2 and map number 3 here, Floki, I think that split could be a map where Team Exo can truly turn up the heat against the South Velocity. Primarily because of one thing. First of all, the map is cold, yes, no puns intended, and then they can turn up the heat on the map of Split. But
Mm-hmm.
Split is a map where Team Exo they have a lot of consistency problems, and you know
Yeah.
for a fact of why I actually say this as well. They have lost out on Split on multiple occasions, even against other teams. For example, Sus Squad is a primary factor in all of that. Sus Squad have taken down the side of Team Exo on this map, and I
Yeah.
was questioning what really went wrong for Exo. They have the leads and they just drop the ball immediately, some in some way, shape, or form. That kind of what happens to the velocity as well on the map of Icebox. It feels like the best maps for both of these teams. They have a lot of problems closing everything out, and I primarily do believe it's the discipline factor coming into play. Both of these teams are really disciplined when it comes down to the individual playstyles, but as a squad, they kind of get a little bit too anxious, too much adrenaline pumping through their body, and they start making a lot more mistakes right at the very end. They need to tone things down here because both of these teams they know exactly how to punish a lot of these different mistakes that can be made by the other, and it really does come down at the end of the day who makes a lot more of the mistakes and who are able to capitalize on the mistakes being made by the other one. So these two maps are going to be real question marks in my eyes. And at map number 3, my hands are up in the air. I'm expecting a 3-game set here. I am not going to say this is going to be 2-0 for any of these teams, but I'm leaning a little bit more towards the side of Team Exo, primarily because I would say it's a 2-1 for them, as Deathmaker hasn't fully integrated into the roster, but at the same time, we haven't really seen them play for a little while. So Velocity, they could be bringing something a little bit more different. They had some time. They put it on into practice range. They did a lot more scrims, and they
Yeah.
could just be a lot more better here. So Exo, they don't also know what to expect because of the addition of Deathmaker. The firepower of the roster has gone up as well, but at the same time, they switched up a lot of the strategy. This is no longer old Velocity. This is a velocity that completely is different. There's no more Vibor. Marcel's going to be the one playing onto the server as well. So all these factors are going to be coming into play. And with Vibor being the sixth man as well, let's say that Exo take map number 1. If the team says that we need something different, we need something fresh, Vibor steps in, and then
Oh yeah.
immediately the entire dynamic of the team just changes once more. All of these factors are going to be coming into play. So I would say that Velocity, they have that surprise factor, but Team Exo, they have a lot more contingency in the way that they're planning a lot of their different strategies. That's why I'm kind of worried. Team Exo, their predictability could just be the end of them here, and Velocity could just steal away the win and head on down over towards the grand finals.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if you're constantly trying to outplay the enemy every single round, the only person you end up outplaying is yourself, right? You get
Very
ahead of
true.
yourself, you start thinking a bit too much. You're like, okay, I just went B main, they showed up B main, I killed them, I went mid, I killed them as well. They're only gonna come A main now is the only possibility. Next thing you know, 5 people come
Yeah,
up
they're
mid
beaters.
and they completely destroy you. So yeah, it's gonna be about EXO keeping their composure. Let's have a look at the Asian. Oh well, looks like we are gonna be waiting a little bit. Yeah, this seems to be a little bit of an issue. We're going to fix that real quick and come back. But yeah, EXO, I think the biggest thing is going to be not to try and outsmart Velocity a bit too much. Have a couple of defaults, stick to them, adjust them around as you see Velocity's defense come through. And of course, always be on toes during those eco rounds. Those have got so many people off guard. And even if you don't lose, just the damage done in those eco rounds can be a big problem for the side of both teams, Velocity and EXO. Especially when you've got a star fragger like Deathmaker. Even that sheriff is straight up a murder weapon. You don't want to be on the wrong end of that without knowing that there's a person around the corner. Just dot your I's, cross your T's, and yeah, you're gonna be in a good spot going into most of those rounds. But Icebox, EXO starting out on attack, it could be a little bit difficult. Velocity's defense is pretty strong, especially when Hellfighter is on the server along with Marzel. Both of these guys make a very strong controller sentinel combination. And I'm really curious to see how they do, in this upcoming map. Icebox should be a fun one.
When you consider the agent selections, though, Floki, do you expect a breach to be a pickup these days? Because in my eyes, I feel as though breach has been picked up quite often. I know you're making a weird face
Yeah.
on me because the thing is that breach has been picked up in a lot of different maps these days. Just look at Haven. Haven is a map where we already know that breach is not a good pickup, but with the recent buffs, the fact that he can now destroy the Killjoy lockdown as well properly with his aftershock, also take out our grenades, also pretty much take out everything that Killjoy has. Breach is actually really good. And a lot of the players, they have actually settled into the groove of playing that Breach. Breach requires a lot more communication between the team members, and with the communication getting built up over the years, they are slowly but surely getting into that phase where they can make some reach work on every single map. But the real question is, Icebox is a map where Sky is also very dominant, but are people going to be picking up the Sky anymore, or are they going to be shifting back to the double duelist composition that they are known for? It's a really big question mark in my eyes of what agents are going to be picked up. So I want to ask you, are we going to be seeing a double sentinel, a double duelist, or maybe a double initiator? And hey, we don't have to speculate for long because agent selection is up, ladies and gentlemen. So let's head on down over there and see exactly what the teams are going to be cooking up for us. And Floki, take it all away. Introduce the agents, and let's head on down over onto Icebox.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that for both teams, I don't think it ever makes sense to pick up double duelists. I think it makes a lot more sense to get yourself, a single duelist and then just try and play around that. Let your initiators have a little bit more freedom on the map. Your initiators and sentinels, they can lurk around, they can make things happen if you give them the room. And that was a very quick agent selection screen coming through as both of these teams, they've picked up the agents they believe they need for this one. EXO going for a slightly different approach as they pick up the Raze. Over getting themselves a second sentinel or a second control or a second initiator. Interesting to see how that plays out. Excali is, of course, a solid duelist, but he's also going to have Ghost on his team, and it's like we said earlier, need to communicate with each other. They need to decide who's going to be aggressive where and make sure they play off of that. Just make sure they're on the same page, and as long as they do that well, Velocity could be in for a tough ride.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those things that we don't really know how to really think about when you consider the double sentinel competition being picked up. The attack side's going to be a little bit weaker, but the defense is going to be way more stronger. So both of these teams, they're running pretty much the exact same competition. No real differences there. So as we do head on down over onto the game, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be able to talk a little bit more about the composition overall. Because the thing is, Team EXO, they're running a double duelist. Yeah. They have a lot of aggression on their side. So them starting on attack really does make sense, but is it a dangerous pickup for them? Because I feel like this could end really badly because with a double duelist composition, rely on frags. Now you're going to be able to get those frags, but constantly is a real question.
Absolutely. Hellfighter, he's the only one posted up towards B, and he's managed to hold them off for a fair bit. That poison orb and that wall really buying them a fair amount of time, but they have sprawled into the site. Not fully in just yet. The spike is going to go down. The wall won't be destroyed in time, and they will be able to back up. Try and play this post plant. Oh my god! That's a lot of damage done over towards Blackhawk. He is quite low. The spike is going to be tapped once to try and force out a peek, but they don't see anyone there. And in fact, they end up destroying their own wall. Look at Deathmaker coming in with a big flank though.
Oh, no one sees him. Oh no, they see him.
Oh, the side he takes about that is just unfortunate. Hellfighter though, just going forward, being the man that is needed for his team. There's actually a wall up. This defuse is being stuck. Matarasu is gonna be able to stick it right to his, gets the kill. EXO, they're gonna lose this round in an unfortunate fashion. Despite Deathmaker's mistake, they're able to make the most out of it as they were all distracted. Great play coming out from the side of Velocity as they prioritize Brains over Brawn.
It's a really good play coming on down through from the side of Velocity there. Being able to understand that, hey, you don't need to use the wall on the side of Kitchen. Who walls Kitchen on the first initial pistol run? We can save that wall for a proper post-plant situation. Amarasu became Trump. He put up the wall, he completely blocked any sort of immigrations to come on down through, and then he just stuck the defuse, being like, no, this is my world, this is my domain, and you're not going to be coming in it. Beautifully done from the side of Amarasu, getting that first initial round, but now look at Deathmaker, he's just chilling up top. They spot him out though, but Excali wasn't good at in that situation, but Ghost the back end wall, he's gonna be able to take down one. This is a force buy round, ladies and gentlemen. You need to remember, this force buy needs to be playing a lot here. They need to get a lot more kills. They need to make this round war 4 versus 4 situation on the cards. There's no more take and do. Amaras is coming up for one. Amaras is coming up for 2. Gets taken out on the trade. Wim is also gonna be the one to take down right to 8. But look at Mars, the position's gonna be strong. That's good for 1. But it's not gonna be good for a second. But he's gonna be able to take Blackhawk down to 22 levels of base speed. Knows exactly where it is. And Hellfighter's not gonna be missing that shot. 2-0 on the scorecards here, ladies and gentlemen. And a very clean round. Not cleanest of cleanest rounds, but you know, a clean round when it comes down to the trades for the side of Velocity.
As good as it gets, right? You force bot on the enemy team. Sure, you take a couple of casualties, but you win the round. That's the more important thing on force buys. It's less about just not dying, and it's more about just making sure the round goes your way. Because you're going to get the second bonus anyway. There are going to be a couple of shadows picked up at most by the side of Team EXO. So far, they haven't really made a dent in terms of rounds, and this round is also unlikely to happen. But the good thing about force buying in the second round is that sometimes you can just, if you manage to get as many kills as EXO does, you can really prevent them from snowballing and building up their economy. But Deathmaker says, no, Ghost actually found a kill. So, yeah, this is what I was talking about. Just trying to make them real, just trying to find those picks that, really crush the opponent's economy. So even though you end up going down in rounds, the longer game favors you.
Gonna be able to make all of this work out properly for them, but at the same time, he's maybe playing with a little bit of fire here, holding that sheriff angle. That tide can be deadly. Shock darts get rained on out as well, but right to ace is not gonna be able to find it. Instead, it's gonna be Sai being able to dig him in the forehead, takes him down to pretty low levels of HP. It's gotta go in for a couple of pop shots. Deathmaker's not gonna be missing that. Deathmaker's gonna be able to thread that needle beautifully, find the nail in the straws. But the thing is, this is still not a good position for them whatsoever. What do EXO even do? They're just blocked off by a wall from the side of Amaterasu, and Amaterasu, he's able to do so much here. They wait for the wall to break. They have a better position. But Sai gives away his position as well. He's wanting to go in for the head tap, so it's not going to be able to find that. That's going to hurt him quite a lot. And now, they already know the spots. They already know the positions, and they're just here to clean it all up. 22 seconds left on the clock. They need to go in for an execution, and they are heading on down over towards that B side.
Yeah, interesting recon that. That actually leaves a lot of positions towards the side, but that Nano Swarm is just going to prevent them from planting. At best, they have to die, but they get the kill on right to ace. There's still Nano Swarm up and running. They need to take out Mars, and Mars is just going to run the timer down. And Amaterasu is there for the cleanup. Another clean win coming here from the side of Velocity. Sure, they lose 2 players, but that's about as good as it gets for them again. Not as much economic damage done as EXO would have liked, but hey, you got to be happy with what you got. Deathmaker got the operator up and running now. And the rest of the Velocity, they're starting to build up that cash.
Yeah, Velocity, they're feeling themselves. Setmaker getting 2 sheriff kills like that, not even missing a single shot. Yeah, he missed a couple of shots on towards the face of Excali, but hey, Excali, he had a headshot angle there. He was head glitching like crazy. So, in a way, it's completely fine. Good couple of kills. And now Deathmaker, a little bit too much aggression from his own cards, man. This guy with that operator, he's feeling himself, yeah, but still, you don't want to go that deep. Sai, he wants to jiggle that side, but he knows for a fact that Deathmaker has that operator. He has the money for it. We can already see it as well on the scorecards. Sai, he knows. He cannot take this swing. If he does, it's gonna be deadly, but Blackhawk, maybe just possibly walking into his own death. Shock darts galore as well from the side of Sai, trying to clear out as many angles as he possibly can. Deathmaker, he can't find a single pick here, not just yet, but Excali is such a beautiful grenade, but immediately gets traded out by Deathmaker. Deathmaker's gonna be gone for 2, pulls out his knife, but gets caught. What do you even call that? What do you even call that thing?
I think he just screwed up his dash. He tried to jump and dash instead of updrafting and dash, and ends up banging against that little collider thing in the middle there. Unfortunately, it seems going to be a 3v3, and Side Dreams is going to make it a 3v2. As he's left Marzel and Hellfighter in a 2v2. Some of the best aimers in the country, but can they aim their way out of this predicament? Coast, patient as ever, just waiting for the snake bite to dissipate before he makes his move, and Hellfighter spots one out, but can't get the kill through the wall. Marzel was going to be there for the 1, but that's all he gets. A singular kill, and the first on board has been put by Team EXO. Deathmaker did his bit, but a costly mistake ends up costing them the round. If Deathmaker survives, that looks like a completely different round.
Yeah, Deathmaker just getting caught out by his own positioning, but at the same time, hey, a little bit unlucky as well from his part. Unfortunate situation for him. He's not going to be the one to survive there. And Amaterasu, I do believe that he died out because he tried to play the headshot angle. And the headshot angle, yes, it's really good, but sometimes you just need to give that one up. Excali placed the grenade beautifully, understanding what exactly Amaterasu was thinking. Caught him out in that scenario, and with that Velocity, they did lose out on not just the operator, but their entire economy in general. So now they're being forced onto an eco. Try and find something here. Blackhawk's gonna be the first one to get that kill down over towards the side of Deathmaker. A little bit too aggressive on his own accord as well. This could just get a little bit dicey here if they're not careful here. This guy's gonna be able to spot out one of the players as well. And Amaterasu, he needs to make a run for it. He needs to find a better position for himself, but that boombot, yeah, it's causing a lot of problems for him.
Yeah, just looking at Amaterasu with bloodshot eyes and chasing him around, but Amaterasu got himself around a box, tucked himself into a corner, and he's gonna be okay. Blackhawk, the ult up and running in the 5th round itself. Pretty good for him, but is it actually even going to come in effect? Because Velocity, they're just falling apart at the seams. Hellfighter's going to get taken out. Wim's going to find Marzel. And that's going to leave Blackhawk to go all the way back towards B, but the side is completely open. Amaterasu and right away, they're gonna try and play for the retake, but Excali is waiting around
knows.
pipes. Oh no, Amaterasu! He spots him out and gets the kill. Excali was a bit too slow there, but that's information given over. They're happy with that.
Yeah, they're not gonna be like they're gonna be feeling themselves now, but never mind. I don't think they're gonna feel themselves that much. Side's gonna be good for one kill. Amaterasu going in for a couple of pop shots, but he's not gonna be connecting, and instead it's gonna be Sai being the one to take down Amaterasu in this situation. A couple of missed shots, but it's completely fine if you get the kill at the end. Sai is gonna be able to do it, but at the same time, now it's gonna be the Byron once again coming on down for the side of Velocity. No operator though, because they didn't really go in for that full save. If one of them really did cut the corners, did not buy a couple of the sheriffs, maybe the operator would be on the cards, but in a way, they got one kill. They did a little bit of damage in terms of the side of armor, so, you know, it's a small victory that time.
Yeah, exactly. The sheriffs are really more about, you know, a what if. You don't want to be relying on them.
I don't like this, man.
Wait. Okay, but Deathmaker, I guess the same trick works twice. He's going to be able to make him back to safety, but he's going to get faked from main if he's not careful. And Ghost cleans him out, gets the return. But still, a 4v3 situation now. The white position has been used on B by Hellfight, and Ghost is just going forward. Marcel's going to get taken down as well. A 3v3 now with right away just around the Viper's pit. Spots him out and gets the kill on Wimp. It's going to turn this round on its head as Side Dreams now in an awkward position towards Nest. In a 2v3 situation, they can't even go back if they want.
One enemy remaining.
The timing, dude, that's gonna hurt a lot. Sai could have gotten an easy kill on Amaterasu as he was walking into his crosshair, but Sai second-guessed himself. The timing was not gonna be in his favor, and now it's all up to Ghost. Ghost is a dagger in the night, but I don't think he's gonna be a dagger for long because it's gonna be daybreak soon! He's gonna be good for one, but he's not gonna be good for a second. Instead, it's gonna be right to his being the one to shut him on down. 4-2 on the scorecards, and with the concert to end it all off as well. I think that Velocity, they're going to be really happy heading on back over towards the 7th round of this.
Absolutely great stuff coming in from the side of Velocity once again. They mitigate the damage, and I think the really important kill was Ace just able to find Wimp right off the bat and cleaning him out, making sure that Viper's pit never really bears the fruit that it needed to. And I think Wimp is going to be a little bit upset about that, that they didn't clear out the backside properly, and as a result, right away, Ace was able to sneak in and get a dirty kill. And EXO, well, they still have money for this round, so they are going to be able to buy up, but Velocity, they're going to be okay with this. They have spotted out, I think they spotted out Hellfighter, so some information that they have to work with, but Hellfighter playing around the corners is really making them desperate. And then the wall comes in, and that's a lot of information being given over to the side of Velocity as Amaterasu, I think he's done his bit. Everyone coming in towards B side. Marcel's going to pinch around mid, make sure they can't really run their way back towards A. And now, EXO, they're sort of stuck. They're going to have to dig themselves out of this hole with all the utility that they have in the world. That's exactly what they're doing. The Boombot to clear out containers, Deathmaker playing around that snowman area to just try and find a single pick. But Sai spamming the boxes, doing due diligence, making sure that they can't catch them off guard when they do go in for the plant. Those spots out Deathmaker, but can't find the kill. They brought into a meat grinder. That's Deathmaker and Hellfighter. Nice ultimate coming in from Excali, blows up Amaterasu. Gives them a chance, and the paint shots will clear out. Hellfighter, two lining up for them. Oh my god, Excali and Wimp, they make it happen.
30 seconds left.
Marcel alone in a one.
Planted.
I have no idea whatsoever,
If Excali should have died out way earlier than that, there is no way that he got away with 4 kills at 16 HP when he was out in the open being shot by like 4 players. A little bit of a questionable round from the side of Velocity, but still Marcel, he's still in the running. He's going to go for 1 kill. He is the clutch master when it comes down to these type of scenarios. Is he going to be able to find it, though? It's going to be the real question going into a double peek, but the double peek is not going to work! Marcel, such a massive brain dispatch. You know exactly how his opposition is going to be thinking. Hey, he's like, they have a 100 Fury, they have a Viper, possibly going in for a lineup, possibly trying to go in for the 100 Fury, but no. They have 2 players. They're gonna get greedy. They're not gonna use their utility. They're gonna go in for a swing on me. I can just walk out, and they're not even gonna try to pre-aim me. They're gonna swing it together. So let me go in for my own swing. Let me catch them off guard and shut them down in a matter of seconds. That's how Marcel thinks, ladies and gentlemen. And such a beautiful play from him to get this clutch for his team. 5-2 on the scorecard, Smokey. That was incredible.
Yeah, EXO just getting a little bit desperate there. That peak was really unnecessary. I mean, you have to expect the fake.
It's
Right? You can't
understandable.
really expect
Get
them
out
to
of my
stick.
way.
It's understandable, but well, it cost them. And Deathmaker, come on, dude, come on, show EXO some form of respect.
Oh,
Well, Ghost,
One
the
tap
jumping
back.
peak with the knives is gonna be able to catch them off guard. And now,
Oh.
right to Ace, huddled up around the corner, as Marzel's ult is gonna push them back, gonna buy them some much-needed time as they get the res on Deathmaker. But Excali gets detained, and Sideways has actually found Deathmaker once again with the short darts. Not really something I was expecting, but Sai just delivers time and time again. And now, in this 4v5 with almost everyone posted up towards A, X2 can back off and try to make something happen mid. But they're a little bit adamant. Still have their foot firmly set outside A. I think they're going to try to make a play on the back of this recon dart. It's not really going to reveal all that much. Oh wait, it actually does end up revealing a Matarasu right to Ace. Just not good there for the kill. Ghost is going to be able to find him, and Blackhawk and Excali, they will finally be able to get their team into a good situation as they get the spike
You
down.
will not
And this
kill
round
my
is done and
allies.
dusted.
Yeah,
The rest for
Hellfire
the
is just
economy
running
as
away.
well.
Yeah, just Hellfire run on away, try and save that Panda for another raid day here. Just try and
love it.
survive.
I mean, I love it. You know, most of the time you'll see the Sages holding out their ultimate to have it a bit more impact. Blackhawk's just like, you know what? I've had it for a while. I'm probably going to get it once again in this half. Might as well just use it to get myself, or rather to get my team in a good spot economically.
Yeah, that's true. The fact is that all of the members of the side of EXO, they are playing a really good game here. They are able to punish a lot of the mistakes being made by their opposition. And this is what I was highlighting back in the pre-show here. The fact that Velocity is constantly making a lot of different mistakes when it comes down to over-aggressing cycles. That's the thing. If any of these teams know exactly how to counteract the mistakes being made by the other on their best maps, they're going to be able to win. And Team EXO in this situation were able to punish Deathmaker heavily for the mistakes that he was making. Deathmaker, you've been going in for the same exact aggressive push for how many rounds now? It's been 8 rounds. He has been consistently going in for those pushes for the last 8 rounds. Pistol round, buy rounds, eco rounds, every single time. Yes, he got a lot of kills out of it. It's completely fine. He's an aim star for a reason, but the thing is, the side of EXO, they also have aim stars on their side. You need to show them a lot more respect from time to time, but no, Deathmaker doesn't care. He's going for more. He's gonna use 2 of his knives already, 3 more to go on his hand, and he needs to back on off. Get some value out of those knives already. Right to Ace, he's also playing with fire. A lot of damage being done, a lot of damage being given as well. And right to Ace, he needs to give that up. He cannot save it now. But with all of the utility already being used and the information being given away, this is an eco round for them. And the eco round, they're going in separately. Which is a little bit questionable from the side of Velocity.
Yeah, well, they have 2 people up on the backstab. EXO, Excali's gonna get spotted, but Ghost is there to cover. Make sure he doesn't get taken out by a classic. That'd be a shame. Ghost cleaning up everyone in and around the site. Excali, well, right Trace tried to be sneaky and he got punished. And now, the Slurk, or rather this backstab, is a little bit too late coming out here from the side of Velocity as Deathmaker, with his knives out, was looking to find a kill, but Blackhawk in a good position. And Amaterasu, that was ridiculous. I mean, yeah, it looked like for a second there that that Sai ended up getting the kill while jumping off the road, but it was actually Excali.
Yeah, he was just a distraction. He was like that pseudo flash that you'd be like, hey, look at me, look at me.
The human flash.
Yeah, he was just like, look at me, and right on the back, it's gonna be Blackhawk just shoving on and get that kill for him. 5-4 on the scorecards, and this is the second win that the side of EXO really needed to try and bring themselves back into the game. But the thing is, Floki, it feels like the side of Velocity are making a lot more mistakes that they really shouldn't be making. A lot of rookie mistakes are what's costing them a lot of rounds, but at the same time, Deathmaker, when he has an operator, man, go in for as many aggressive pushes as he wants. It's completely fine, because it's an operator, and we know how deadly he is when he has an operator in his hand. Having that one-shot potential on his side, on the body as well, will allow him to be that aggressive. That's fine, but don't over-aggress. Over-aggression is gonna be your downfall. But now, Team EXO, they're going to be the ones who face the biggest downfall here. They don't have a Resurrection. They do have a Hunter's Fury, though, and I'm really hoping that Sai uses his Hunter's Fury a little bit more proactively instead of saving it for his, the post-one situation. Oh,
Excali? What? He sneaks his way into side and finds a free pick onto Marzel. No sound was given whatsoever, but right to Ace. Gonna find another sneaky kill on the back of that. Just take his presence to. And now in a 3v4, EXO might have a hard time trying to play post-plant. Fortunately for them, Deathmaker, he's still on the operator, so it's about a 3v3 for them. Excali is gonna find Hellfighter as well, make it a little bit better. Deathmaker's there to get the trade, so he picks up the Vandal, and Sai making sure he's there to counter the Lurk, and Blackhawk peeks out at the perfect time as he destroys Ace, leaving Deathmaker in an uncomfortable 1v2 with not a lot of HP to work with. 13 to his name. Blackhawk finishes him off, cleans up. Another great round coming in for the side of EXO.
Once again, too much aggression, but at the same time, Excali, he just walked in towards the side. That's something that no one would have expected, man. Excali, literally like the Easter Bunny, jumped from the top side of Bell, came over to the mid container, jumped from there over towards Heaven, and then dropped down and then got a kill on the Marza. Like, that guy's a movement god for a reason, but at the same time, you just walked into side, like, nonchalantly killed Marzel and just sent him back home. And I'm pretty sure that Marzel's like, what is Excali doing here? You would never expect him to be this close to you, and with that situation, he's gonna get caught out, but that's gonna hurt. The double peek's not gonna be good. Marzel, he wasn't able to get that trade down onto one. Excali swings around the corner, gets another kill on the Marzel. And once again, too much aggression on the eco rounds is costing them. They just need to play together as a squad, wait for the retake maybe. It can work. They can take out these guns. They have the aim for it, but it feels like Velocity, they're going in for so many of these aggressive pushes that they don't really need to. They need to slow down, possibly take a pause even to try and recollect themselves because they're making a lot of rookie mistakes. That's what's costing them a lot of these rounds.
Yeah. I mean, Velocity, I think they're feeling hopeless in these eco rounds, just trying to get whatever they can. And you can see Blackhawk is punching all of them. Ah, boy, Hellfighter. I heard a lot of shadow shots there, unfortunate for him. Amaterasu also trying his best, but also gets cleaned up. Excali, no damage taken. He won't even have to replenish his shield.
Last round before the switch.
It is a strong start for the side of Velocity, but not really a good ending for them either here. They're taking so many 1 versus 1 engagements that I don't really like this. This is not the Velocity that we know, ladies and gentlemen, because they're a team that constantly plays for the trades, but where are the trades here? The trade angles are not that strong. They're going in for fights where they know for a fact that trading would be absolutely impossible. They can't take a slow play for the timings because now EXO, they've adapted. They're just playing it slow. Just look at them. Their positions are right in the back. They're playing for trade angles very differently, and they're setting up everything for their own members here. Ooh, that's gonna be a really strong tag coming on down from both. And now, that's a person who'll kill him. Amaterasu takes a backseat. EXO pulls out the showstopper. Should be good for 1 kill. So not gonna be able to fight it. Instead, it's Marcel straight through. Oh, that's gonna be able to survive. Marcel's gonna be good for a second. The operator's not gonna be able to sing, but right to Ace is gonna be able to sing. But there's bow and arrow. Nearly gets another kill down on the Ghost. He's gonna be able to run away, save himself for a little while longer, but now Shock Darts galore. Shock Darts coming in straight to the face. Ghost take a backseat, and the right to Ace is gonna be able to send them back home with a Shock Dart to the body. Then it's all up to Sai. He's gonna be good for 1 kill, 1 versus 1 situation on the map. Sai, come on, make it all happen. Make it happen. Take it down over to that 7-5 scoreline, but I don't think it's gonna work. He doesn't know where to expect, but Sai is walking on away. That's gonna be a recon bolt. He's gonna swing out, but Hellfighter's not gonna be able to find it. Oh no, this is dangerous. This is bad. And Sai, he has the best angle for it, but he's not gonna be able to get that kill. One on the top, one on the bottom. Come on, Hellfighter, what's your plan? What's the game plan here?
Wait, it's not flooded for him.
He's gonna be going for it, but he's not gonna be able to get it. He's playing so much time here. Hellfighter, he has enough. This is gonna be super close, but I don't think he has enough time, man. The spike is already gone. It's already done and dusted. And oh my god, Sai, you don't toy with Hellfighter's feelings like that. It was just around the corner, man. The plant wasn't even for him. And he still got the clutch. That's Sai.
That is a masterclass on how to play that 1v1 during post plants. How many people would have just tried and go for the peak? No, not Sai. Sai just knows he just has to mess around with Hellfighter. He just needs to play around, make him come for him. And look at that. I mean, Hellfighter, he was just so distraught the entire time. He's like, man, I don't have enough time. I just need to go and tap the spike. And he does, but, Sai just goes and gambles his life away on that ropes and comes out on the other end strong. As a result, EXO, they're up 2 rounds. I mean, 7-5 for them. They are going to have a little bit of problem on this defense, though, because they only really have a Sage to slow these pushes down. Apart from that, this Viper's going to have to do it. On the other hand, though, if you look over to the side of Velocity, they don't really have the best aggressive lineup either. They've got themselves a Killjoy and a Sage on offense, which, well, I guess the Sage can function as a duelist, but the Killjoy might have a slightly harder time.
A little bit of a questionable wall coming on down through from Blackhawk. You think that wall that early to get yourself the orb? I kind of understand what he was trying to employ there, but at the same time, that wall would have made a lot more dividends if you just saved it for the post plant as well. Like, use the plan that was being used by the side of Velocity in the previous rounds. They got a very easy piss around off of that, and to use that wall this early, will it be coming back to bite them in the butt later is the real question, but I don't think that's gonna happen, not just yet. But Velocity, thing is, Floki, they look lost.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're trying to do here. They're trying to get some establishment on A, trying to go to win for something on B, but they're just not able to find out much. But they do catch out a little bit of an over-aggressive Blackhawk. That's going to be the thing that they need to... That's the opening that they require, sorry, to try and going down over towards this visa.
30 seconds left.
Yeah. Wimp, he is somewhat alone on this side. Doesn't really have a lot of help coming towards his way. And look at the crossfire from Marzel and Deathmaker. Ah, the double duo of death as Marzel delivers. The crossfire comes through. Wimp still on the side, hasn't revealed his hand, and now will show himself as he takes out Marzel. Well, the defense is sitting a little bit low on HP as Sai is only working with 5 to his name, but maybe Wimp can make something happen. No, he cannot. Amaterasu is going to be able to find the kills, and Velocity, a much needed pistol win for them as they look to equalize the scoreboard, make it 7-7, and give themselves a fighting chance against EXO.
Thing is, Loki, Velocity, they got that round purely based upon picks. And to play the Pisseron based upon picks is a little bit more questionable because you can't always rely on that. Pisserons are one of those things that you need to have a solid game plan moving on down forward. That was a default play from Velocity, and the default, yes, it was really good. They played their cards beautifully to the mistakes being made by Team EXO, but Blackhawk, if he didn't go in for the re-swing there, things would have been a lot more different. Blackhawk didn't even need to go in for the re-swing. He made that mistake. Velocity were able to capitalize on that one mistake. The B-side was completely empty. That's how they got that play there. But they can't always rely on that, and now it's Team EXO making their own mistakes. This is the thing. Too much aggression. It's gonna cost you a lot. They're not going together as a squad, and they're dying out every single time because of it, but him, he's gonna be able to slap right to Ace in the face with that classic. Send him back home already. But oh my god! Oh my god! Deathmaker! Did you just kiss Excali in the face and then you just walked away from it? You don't do that.
Yeah, that's a little bit awkward.
The that I had 2 years ago. The girl just walked away from me after that.
Yeah, in a different game, that would have actually dealt a little bit more damage as the grenade did hit his face. But hey, that's okay. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, you did your best. You got the orb. You played the map as efficiently as you could have, and that's about as good as it gets, right? The Sage working her way towards that resurrection, trying to make a difference in that second buy round that eventually will come through as... well, the first buy round is up, so let's try and focus on that a little bit more. No operators up and running just yet, while Velocity play bonus. Let's see what EXO can accomplish in this round. The defense, it's the best in the world as once again on A, they are playing a fair bit aggressively, but you just Marzel holding out and lurking, just trying to catch anyone by surprise over here as it's not left to the curiosity of the enemy team. They know Marzel is, I'm pretty sure they've heard the turret at this point, so yeah, they're just gonna be playing it a little bit slow, and they figure out where the guns are. They spot out Wimp, and that's the wife of being a real.
He doesn't know, but Marcel's backing it off. No, this is bad. This is bad. Marcel's gonna got a kill down on towards the face of Ghost, but he doesn't know what's up. He doesn't know what to expect here. But Hellfire Drake was trying to make a slow walk up, but now Team EXO, they're not really going in for any sort of these different engagements. They're playing it slow, they're playing it smart. They do not want to over-aggress whatsoever because that first initial pick is what Velocity are waiting for, and this is default play from them. This is a new default that we have never really seen. Normally, in case the side of Velocity, always going in for hard pushes, always going in for fast engagement, but that's not what we see here. But once again, Go CDs to see this. Shots are going to be good, but he's just not going to be able to find it instead. It's going to be Marzel. Good for the first initial headshot, but will he be able to get that kill is the real question. Ghost is right around the corner. He's going to be jiggling it. And that's going to cost him as well. Marcel's going to be the one to get that kill down onto his face of Ghost. And now with the plan going on down over towards A side, it's a 3 versus 5 situation, and all of the mistakes being made by EXO are being punished heavily by Velocity by their default play.
Yeah, and once again, you know, I'd be just very happy to see EXO save these guns, take him to the next round, just they're not really gonna have a buy in the coming round. They might as well just buy a couple of shares, try and make this round hurt. And well, it doesn't look like they're willing to do that just yet. And Sai might have just found an opening with those 2 kills. They stand a chance to win this one. Marzel's big wave coming into his pipes, but he's done his job. How much would he want this man to do? Well, guess Marzel's done everything he can. He get the kills on Sai with that, but Blackhawk is able to get the kill. Half defuse done, and this round is gonna go the way of EXO.
Oh my.
A very labored round, but in the end they win it. And there you go. I love it. I love this stage so much. Blackhawk going in for the res there. Just making sure the economy stays intact.
Yeah, the thing is, they needed to go in for the resurrection. If he didn't go in for that res, they still would have been able to go in for buys. Thing is, yes, they won the round, but this was such an expensive round for them that they had no buys whatsoever for it. The fact that they got that resurrection basically means that, hey, Ghost is going to be able to pick himself back up. He is going to be able to get a gun for himself, and they have 2 Vandals and Phantoms to work with, and everyone else can buy the Spectres. They have a little bit more firepower on their side of the line field. But now, another problem. What really went wrong in that last round? Over-commitment to the fight. The post-plant was really good, but they overcommitted. They didn't need to do anything there. They didn't need to go in for the trade. They just needed to jiggle around the corner, force them off that spike, but that's not the thing that happened. They overcommitted. They died out for it. Again, mistakes being made and mistakes being punished. This is beautiful. This is really nicely done from both of these teams, but the mistakes need to be toned down just a tiny little bit, because now is where it all matters. Everything's going to slow down a lot more. The teams are going to be second-guessing themselves a lot more as well. And when you second-guess yourself, Loki, you're going to make a lot more mistakes. So let's see who makes the first initial mistake here. Will it be Velocity, or will it be the side of Team EXO? And I called it, didn't I?
Yeah, you just caught him off guard there, Coast. Great play by him, just catching him going through pipes. Noise was made and he capitalized. No fear whatsoever. That's the kind of duelist you want on your team. The one that's always going to punish mistakes of the enemy team. Deathmaker now looking to find his team and opening. Oh my god! A big wave coming in for him.
30
Didn't have enough time to adjust his crosshair, but Ghost has managed to recover. Blackhawk whiffs as well. What is up with these whiffs? Deathmaker's gonna be able to punish them, and now Velocity, they actually have a winning chance here. Ghost is down to 50 HP. Sure, you have I mean, you got yourself Excali and as well as Wimp to try and come in, but they don't have the best weapons to make this work.
Yeah, it's all up to Excali. He needs to try and find a miracle here, but he's not looking around. He tries to pick up a gun when he knows for a fact everyone else is inside of sight. Questionable, but I guess he thought that everyone else was in back of side or possibly coming over towards the right side. It happens from time to time. Don't really worry about it. But in a way, I guess that round really worked out in their favor, but at the same time felt out very sketchy as well. I'm trying to analyze what's really going on here at this matchup, Loki, but I don't know. It feels like the players and feels like the teams are just winging it from sometimes a little bit.
Absolutely. I mean, it seems that the side of EXO are just, a little bit unstable. They seem to have a solid start, but now I'm really questioning, what their foundation is based on. It's not the sturdiest, and Deathmaker's going to be able to find Coast. Fortunately, it's just an eco round for them, so that's not really a big loss, but that does mean the knives are down. He's going to work his way back up towards them. There's Marzel just playing and chilling in spawn, waiting for them to show up so he can punish. Spike's gonna go down. It's an extra alt point that you're gonna have to work with. And Deathmaker,
one enemy remaining.
Only one directional button key on his keyboard, and that's W. Wimp also gonna get cleaned up. That 0.4 per shot spread just coming into play there.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt him quite a lot. But at the same time, this was a round where they had a solid plan, they knew what to expect here, and they were able to punish it beautifully. Understanding that, hey, EXO, they're possibly going to be going in for a swing. Ghost loves to play over towards the right-hand side corner, trying to go in for a jump bait. So he has to be there. Deathmaker went in for the crouch peek, and Ghost, he had beautiful crosshair placement. He didn't expect Deathmaker to actually go in for that crouch peek, so first initial shot went above his head. Deathmaker was going to be the one to get that kill. He had the fully auto weapon instead. Beautifully done from both sides. Mistakes were made, mistakes were punished. And in a way, I wouldn't say that any mistakes were made. This was just an outplay from their side, and now Ghost, he's going in for his own outplay! But Hellfighter! Oh my god, that crouch peek was absolutely disgusting. This guy needs to... that shot needs to be put on a frag montage or something. That was clean.
Yeah, I mean, Deathmaker just getting completely destroyed there. Muzzle's actually made his way towards me, but he's making so much noise. They're both gonna see each other, but it's gonna be Muzzle who ends up winning that duel, and now Blackhawk just left in a very uncomfortable 1v4. Not much he can do. Yeah, just nasty stuff coming in from Hellfighter. That crouch peek was so dirty.
But dude, Ghost, he didn't know what hit him, man. He just swung the corner, and then Ghost is like, oh, guess I'll die. There is no way you could react to that. The Peeker's advantage was strong in that one. 10-8 on the scorecards, and it feels like the Lion has woken here, Floki. And now, Velocity, they're ready to make them feel the heat. Slowly but surely, the plans seem to be coming on down together, and Velocity, they seem structured a lot more. They're not winging it anymore. They're actually going in together as a squad. They have a good plan. They are going to be playing in for the trades. And they're playing it slow. They're playing it systematic. They're waiting for Exo to go in and make the mistakes. And it feels like their attacking side is a lot more structured now. But once again, Ghost is in such a good position. Could have gone in for that shot. But he's not going to be able to find that. The angle is going to be way too tight. And Marcel just walks away unscathed. It's being given away. And Deathmaker finds the first visual player. And Deathmaker finds the second. He just put it on a pixel of Scally's head. And he just popped him with a one tap. Oh my god, Deathmaker, this guy has to stop.
It's so nutty. Every single time I see him, he's just popping those heads off shoulders. Hellfighter's gonna find Blackhawk, gets cleaned out, but that's okay. It's still a 4v2 situation for his team, and yeah, Deathmaker's still holding that angle, but Wimp is gonna win another duel. Not a big cause for concern yet, unless Ghost finds Amaterasu napping. You can actually spam that nest area, but I wonder if he's gonna try doing that. No! Deathmaker gets bested there. A 1v2 now for Ghost. He's heard Amaterasu over there, and yeah, no fear on Amaterasu. He's gonna be able to clean him up. 11-8 in favor of Velocity. One game away from reaching match point. I mean, rather, sorry, one round away from reaching match point.
Yeah. They're gonna be able to do it all.
Imagine reaching 11 rounds and then just having to play an entirely separate game to make sure you get to match point. Completely ridiculous. But yeah, Velocity are just one round away. And EXO, this is pretty much the last stand they're going to be able to make here. Because after this round, they're going to be forced to buy, you know, whatever they can manage. It's going to be a couple of Spectres here and there. Maybe a Judge, maybe a Marshal. And that's going to be about it. If they don't make this round work, then they are in deep waters. They need to win at least the upcoming two to even have a shot at overtime, for that matter. Sai spots out Marzel. There are lots of players with mid. Excali! Oh, no! Showstopper! Oh, so much damage done. He's going to be able to find another kill before he goes down, right before he gets traded out, as Marzel found that kill. But a 4v2 situation for EXO. We said they needed to deliver. We said they needed to win this round, and that's exactly what they're doing. Ghost is going to be able to find Marzel. Siderace finds Hellfighter. A very good round coming in from EXO. Making sure their money, it stays afloat. And it's all thanks to Excali. And his psychotic plays. That was insane.
Excali, that was a very dangerous play, but at the same time, do you know what I forgot about? It was Sai holding down the crossfire. So Excali, he was safe. If he didn't get that, if he didn't go in for that swing, he could have just walked on away and he could have just saved it for himself. The thing is, no one can even push him because if they try to push him, they need to worry about the top side of mid. And the fact is, I was holding down from the back. He was holding a very beautiful angle and he had absolutely nothing to worry about there in that situation. Beautifully played from his side. The peaks were strong, the trades were good, but ooh, Wim, he really got caught out by the recon bolt's gonna be able to survive. He's gonna be able to live to try and defend the side for a little while longer. But the thing is, now that the side of Velocity know what's up, they're going in for a fast execution down towards that B side with Deathmaker leading the charge from the top end. Excali, very strong position, but a little bit too over aggressive. He's not gonna be able to get that flank on towards the face of Deathmaker, and Amaterasu straight through the smoke's gonna be the one to take down Wimp as well. Shots are gonna be clean, and 103 is gonna be good. Oh, he's gonna be able to get a third attack. No, he's not gonna be able to fight anyone. They walk away unscathed here, ladies and gentlemen. And with the attacker side of Killjoy lockdown being placed as well, positions are gonna be strong. They don't know where to go because the lockdown was placed on towards the side of mid. They can't go there anymore. They're forced inside of the side because if they go back, they're gonna get caught. Hellfighter's gonna be able to find the pixel angle onto the face of Sai as well. And now, it's already done. Last player is gonna be Ghost, and there's no way he gets this. There's no way, Floki, right?
I mean, Ghost needs to do a lot of work over here, but Master is so aggressive, he might just catch him off guard. Give himself a real opportunity, but there's still 2 players he needs to deal with at once. He snuck his way in and he's running. He knows he doesn't really have a single option here. And Amaterasu is going to clean him up. A bit of a weird ultimate being placed down by Marcel, but it did slice up mid into some awkward chunks. So the rotation would come all the way around from defender spawn instead of coming in from kitchen. I guess that's probably what it did there.
I think it's a smart ultimate. In a way, I like the fact that Marcel placed an ultimate on versus side mid. Because with the mid ultimate, what do they actually get? They stop any form of the defenders to actually hold down from B main. They cannot play from under the tube. They cannot go anywhere near that side because if they go there, they're going to get caught out by the lockdown. So they're all forced inside of the site. They need to play near that top end side where they can possibly get a little bit of cover to work with, but even that's not possible. Yellow container is one of those things that is a really strong angle because you can fully see on towards this angle of mid. And in that sense, that ultimate was really good. It set up his teammates for the play instead of actually setting up teammates for the play to play into a proper post-plant position instead of actually forcing the opposition out of the site. They force them inside of the site where they know for a fact that Velocity will be able to go in for the trade wins there. But now in this round in particular, ouch, that's gonna hurt. Marcel gets caught out on the lurk. A lot of information being gained by the side of EXO. But that's all that they need. They need information, but at the same time, damage is going to be done as well. Wimp is going to be good for 1. Beautiful usage of utility as well. Wimp's going to be able to take down a second with a grenade from Xcali to help out as well. Wimp is going to be good for a 3rd. Come on, give this man another one. Right around the corner. Who's going to be able to get it? It's going to be right to his right. It's going to be good for 2 though. And maybe this could just work out. 12 and 9 on the scorecards. Right to ace. Is known as right to clutch for a reason, but with 45 HP, does he have the right to clutch? And does he have the right to ace as well?
It'll be a hard one for sure. Could try and get this one. Sai just has the wrong read. Thankfully, Ghost has him covered. Teamwork makes the dream work. As EXO, they're going to stay alive and kicking, but 2 very difficult rounds ahead of them to try and make their way to overtime. This one's going to be a bit of a hard journey here for the side of EXO. As Velocity, they look to land the finishing blow. They've got all the money in the world to work with. I'm pretty sure they've got enough in the tank left for a new buy as well. I'm pretty sure Matarasu can just drop a rifle over to his teammate while buying one for himself. He might have to struggle a little bit, might have to pick up light shields, but that's okay. I mean, it's all about securing that final round. They have 2 shots to it all. This time around, a very aggressive play coming in from Velocity towards B main. The Sage is not going to be able to stop this all by herself. That slow up might buy her some time, but you can look, he's all the way ready. Blackhawk just wants to prevent them from getting onto site and planting, so he's going to place a somewhat of an awkward wall. And there you go. That's the kind of wall you need to sort of prevent them from getting that plant in a good position. But Ace has actually found Xcali with the Hunter's Fury there. Oh boy, that was so unexpected.
What?
Play. Oh, Blackhawk, he goes on the wall himself and gets that pick. Oh boy, Ghost, he also eats a shot dart this round. Looking like it might just be over as Ghost all by his lonesome.
They need to get really lucky here and get a kill down on the Hellfighter, but I don't think that's going to happen. Hellfighter's playing in a very safe angle. He's got to survive. The ultimate's not going to do much there. He only gets a tag onto Hellfighter, possibly a possible headshot. But this ultimate's gonna be really hard to destroy. What do you do here? Entrance is also being covered by the Toxin Bike. There's playing such beautiful angles. Crossfires are gonna be strong. There's nothing that you can do here. Ghost is gonna be good for 1 kill, but you're not gonna be good for anything more than that. How much more can you do? TM's gonna be able to slap the last 2 players in the face with a couple of bullets for his battle. Shut them down, take them out as well here, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, that's going to be the side of Velocity taking map number 1. And it felt like the strategies were not as strong right at the very beginning of the games, but as the game progressed more, both of these teams, they aged like fine wine. They were able to do it a lot more better. They were a lot more potent, a lot more systematic in all of their strategies. And they were able to make things work really beautifully as well here, Floki. I kind of like that. Initially, I was a little bit scared that both of these teams were just winging it and they were just swinging corners left and right, trying to go in for kills. But right at the very end, we saw a lot of strategy. We saw a lot of adaptability from both of the sides. And right at the very end, it was Velocity showing a lot more adaptability in their plays in comparison to EXO on their home map. It's kind of expected, of course, so it's completely fine. Good win from the side of Velocity, but at the same time, a really strong start from the side of Team EXO as well. So let's go down over towards the match highlights, ladies and gentlemen, to see exactly what went wrong for both of these teams. And I personally do believe that the starting kind of set the pace for the entire thing. Velocity, they were able to come on back for him, but Team EXO, they took way too long to adapt to a lot of the different scenarios that Velocity were forcing them into.
feel like a lot of this comes down to really good utility usage coming in from Amaterasu. I think his walls were they're going to be somewhat looked over in this game, but they've actually made a huge difference. I think there were multiple rounds where he walled a little bit later and he got a ton of information for his team. I think he must have heard at least 3 to 4 rifles trying to break down a single wall. So when you have that sort of information, even if you use the Sage Wall really late into the round or even like mid round, it's very, very good because it just throws a wrench into the plans of the attackers, right? Once they've been spotted, it's very easy to try and shut down their push. It's really the element of surprise that helps them to get onto those sites with their spikes, or really just good executes where you can't stay on the site without potentially being in a very bad spot, not being able to be traded out or not really being able to contribute much apart from just staying in a position and getting a kill. I think this round really is the one that EXO got robbed of. I mean, that Viper ult, it went off, and as soon as it goes off, right away is found that kill. If that ult goes up, this looks like a completely different half. Looks like a completely different game. And I think a lot of credit has to be given where it's due. I think Velocity, they did a very, very good job of just keeping the side of EXO on their toes. Yeah, and Xcali that round was insane.
Yeah. Like, this is a lot of individual performances from the side of Team EXO when it came down to their own attacking side. They're able to come on back from it really beautifully, but at the same time, Velocity, they also pulled off a lot of incredible clutches throughout their own accord through the entirety of their defensive side, but it feels like their defense was a lot more lackluster. It was pretty much put together with bandages, and there was not really, it was not something being done as well as you would have expected. Velocity, it feels like with the addition of Deathmaker, the team has shifted from being a very defensive roster into being a lot more attack favored. Their attacking firepower is just so much now that their attacking side looks a lot more cleaner in comparison to their defense, and it's completely fine because the thing is, when you add a new player onto your roster, the defense will suffer a lot because defense really does depend on everyone being on the same page, everyone understanding what they really want to do, everyone understanding what they want to bring down to the table, moving on down the line here. But that's not the case here coming on down through for the set Velocity. They're having a pretty tough time trying to get to know each other, trying to understand what angles they want to swing, what angles they want to over-press on, but it's fine. Velocity on their own attacking side, they're able to switch everything up, bring something a little bit more different. And Team EXO, the thing is, they have a double duelist composition, and the double duelist composition was not able to pay a lot of dividends because they were not going in for pushes based upon information being given by side. They were going in for all of their peaks try, and Velocity, they understood that. They were able to capitalize on that mistake being made. And Deathmaker, he was on the prime of it all. He was ready to pounce on those mistakes immediately. Every single time we watched Deathmaker, he was flicking around all over the place, being able to hit pixel headshots, getting 26 kills on a 313 ACS like that. Deathmaker, he deserves to take a bow. But at the same time, Ghost, he did exactly the same thing, but he was just not able to keep up with the rest of Velocity. He was able to keep up with one player, but the rest of them just was not happening.
Absolutely. A pretty hard matchup for the side of Team EXO. And I have to say, Velocity, their defense, it left a lot to be desired initially. We thought that EXO could actually run away with this game as long as they won that pistol. But then Velocity, they won that ever-important pistol round when they really needed to, and they managed to pull it back, right? Which is just been Velocity for the longest times. Usually, before Deathmaker, we didn't really see them win pistols all that much. It was really the buy round that stood out for them the most. But this time around, they made a lot of difference. Them winning the pistol gives them a big lifeline. EXO were able to, bring it back a little bit, but eventually Velocity, they understood how they were playing and they were able to punish that really, really well. And I think one of the bigger reasons is just simply the amount of patience that they have and the way they play around the map, right? It's all about getting Muzzle into a good position first, just setting him up for success and leaving him alone to do his thing while everyone else goes around the map and tries to play off of each other and tries to make something happen. Muzzle just always being left do all the lurking and be the X factor for his team, just allowed to use his brains and get all those skills that are needed to be found on that offensive half, just making sure you're able to cut off rotations or really just confuse the enemy as to where you're going to be attacking next.
Yeah, in a way, both of these teams, they performed really admirably, but right at the very end, Velocity, they were just able to kick it up a notch a little bit more in comparison to the side of Team EXO. Were doing a really good job. They were able to capitalize on those mistakes. They were learning. They were adapting throughout the entire game. They were growing, and they finally showed a lot more presence when it comes down to strategy, less reliant on the gunfights as well. But the thing is, at the very end, their strategies got read into, Velocity switched up immediately, and the adaptability just caught the side of Team EXO off guard, and there was no way for them to try and come on back from that. They did get hurt. They're going to lose out on this match, but it's fine. They're going to be able to come back stronger moving on down the line as well. But ladies and gentlemen, you need to remember, this is just a best of 3. We still have a lot more to go. So we're going to be setting up map number 2, and we're going to be back to the real shortly with the LG Ultragear TC Gauntlet Season 2, powered by WD Black and AMD Ryzen Radiant after a short break.
Hey, South Asia Valorant players, I'm Sean Garris.
It's Kusta.
And Michael from Genji Valorant here with some really exciting news.
We have teamed up with LG Ultragear and the Esports Club for Season 2 of the Gauntlet.
The winner of Tec Gauntlet Season 2 will receive an exclusive one-on-one mentoring session with our Valorant team to help identify areas of improvement in their game to prepare for a higher level of gameplay.
In addition to that, we're going to be reacting to some of the top plays throughout this competition. Guys, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so make sure you don't miss out on this. Good luck to everyone competing from everyone here at Genji Valorant.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the LG Ultragear Tec Gauntlet Season 2, powered by W Black and AMD Ryzen Radiant, as we are back once again of this intense high-action gameplay coming on down through from both of these teams. It's going to be Team Exo going up against Velocity for their second game now. Game number 1 was a little bit more on the dicier side with both of the teams just trading rounds back and forth. We were questioning whether the strategic prowess from both of these teams are faltering just a little bit, but right at the very end, they've woken themselves up. They were able to go in for a lot more adaptive plays and truly show what they're capable of by throwing out strategies straight into the face of their opposition. And Team Exo, they got caught off guard by a lot of the different strat calls being made by Velocity on their own attacking side that allowed them to go in for this win, shut down Exo in a very convincing fashion right at the very end. 13-10 is the scorecard. The teams were very close when it came down to their adaptability, but right at the very end, Velocity were able to top it all off and sprinkle in their win because that is their home map. They are going to be the ones to take that. But now, Loki, as we go down over onto map number 2, it's going to be split. A map picked up by Team Exo and a map where they are known to be really potent in, but also have a lot more tendencies to break apart as well. On this map, they have gotten a 10-2 scoreline, a 10-2 by the way, and they lost that one as well by an intense comeback by another team.
I mean, hey, it's the 12-2 and the 10-2 curse, but let's head on over to the agent selection screen and see what agents are going to be picked up for this particular map. Okay. Sai picks up the KO. That was not something I was expecting.
Oh yeah, you have not casted the KO. Sai always picks up the KO on the map split. KO is like a staple pickup for them on this map.
Yeah, I mean, I've played that KO on split before too, and he just feels really, really good. I feel like he's one of those agents that actually has a lot of potential to play like a bit of like a duelist and seek out engagements early on the defensive side, of course. When you're on defense on split and you've got a KO, there are a lot of good flashes that he can throw in towards A main, can't do all that much towards B, but he's really potent towards that A main area. So yeah, not too surprised by that. But this is going to be interesting. I also see an Omen pickup coming in for the side of EXO. Blackhawk's going to be playing that. Ghost is going to be playing the Sage, and a single dude is in the form of Excali on that race. Meanwhile, on the other side, you've got yourself Deathmaker playing that Jet right to Ace. Of course, probably going to be playing up that Sky or maybe a KO if Velocity have that in their back
Select
pocket.
your
Although
agent.
I doubt that's
I
the
don't
case.
think so.
And yeah, they're going to be playing with the single Jet. Now, Jet is one of those agents that on defense, it makes a lot of sense to pick her up if that's where you're going to be starting out. And that's where Velocity are starting out, right? They're starting out on defense. So if they win those, initial rounds, they're able to get the operator up and running by the 4th or 5th round. This Jet could really pay huge dividends for them because, yeah, I mean, when you pick up that operator in the 4th or 5th round after you win, the pistol, then it just adds that sort of unpredictability factor as to where the Jet's going to be. What's the Jet going to do, and really gives you the edge in those sorts of situations, and really puts the fear in the enemy teams as opposed to just saving up right from the get-go and then buying a 3rd round operator. It gives the enemy team a lot more time to study how you play.
Yeah, picking up the operator later than sooner for the side of Split in particular as a map is a lot more better. The later on you pick up the operator, the more you're going to be able to do with it, because then the opponents are going to take a lot more time to adapt. Yep. Because when you have guns and you die out to an operator, yeah, that's when you're going to be in a pretty easy situation, because that's one gun round down. You can go into the following round and still do a lot of damage with the operator, and it's going to take them one more further by round to do a lot of the different things there. So let's head on over to this game, ladies and gentlemen, and see exactly what the teams are going to be planning for us, because it feels like, in a way, they should be able to do a lot here, theoretically, with the composition that they are running for the side of Velocity, because Velocity, they have a lot more utility to work with. But at the same time, you know what I always say, utility is good, but at the same time, you need to be able to use that utility to the best of your own abilities.
Absolutely. I mean, utility not used is utility wasted. So let's see what's going to happen this time around. Hellfighter just going to throw down both bolts at once. The second star as well. Going to throw the gravity well down on that, as Ghost is taking a lot of damage, but Hellfighter still sticking around there. Not really able to find anything right off the bat. The spike will go down though. We'll see what happens next as the rest of the team is trying to play this for the retake. Have a lot of HP to try and make this work. So Velocity, they're going to be A-okay for now, but the Wolf scouting things out, so it's going to give them an opening that they need. Ghost getting spammed, but he's going to move a little bit to the side. Avoid spam, but Muzzle's still able to get him, and Deathmaker's going to find another. Oh man, EXO are just getting slaughtered over here on this B side as they clean up. Velocity, very, very potent pistol win for them.
That was a landslide of a play coming down from Velocity. They all jumped down from heaven. Isolated 1v1s being given away, and EXO, they had no crossfire setup whatsoever. The crossfires were not working at all. They all tried to peek in together, but they still gave the isolated 1 versus 3s, not the isolated 1 versus 1, isolated 1 versus 3 situations. And hey, Velocity, they were happy to take that. They were going to be the ones to take that win for themselves, and they're going to be the ones to survive it all. But at the same time, look at what's in the hand of Deathmaker. He is not saving for that operator. Instead, he's directly upgrading to that Bulldog to try and go in for a couple of one-tap plays and then try and take down his opposition.
Yeah, that's a nice knife coming in from the side, offside. Does reveal the Viper towards Room, and yeah, Matrasu pretty much with only a Spectre in his hand gets caught reloading, and that's given over to the side of EXO. 5 players relatively healthy, making their way towards a heaven, and this is going to be Lamps to the slaughter. Deathmaker 3 kills, they 4 for his name. Ah, boy. It's all going to be down to Go to try and bring this back, but he's doing it. Doesn't have the heal for another few seconds, but at least he's going to get the spike down, and that's a lot of money that is already in the pockets of the side of EXO. So I doubt he's going to be able to clutch this round out. And Deathmaker, he's left his teammates in a very doable 2v1.
Yeah, it's just not going to be happening for Ghost. Maybe he's going to be good for 1 kill, but to be good for a second, I don't think that's going to happen. They're playing together as a squad, both of them going in for the jump down! And Righteous is going to be going in for the hard swing to shut him down already. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be another round on the board for the side of Velocity. And at the same time, man, Deathmaker. Deathmaker. Just look at this guy. Who else can do that other than Deathmaker? So beautiful and so crisp, man. This guy is just on another level, especially when he has a Bulldog in his hand. No one can make that Bulldog sing better than Deathmaker sing.
Yeah, and that's even harder considering that dogs don't have the best voices for singing. I mean, Deathmaker, truly a man of many talents, has pulled off a pace of big time for him. And now, I mean, yeah, sure, you know, he's going to play off the knives considering how many rounds he's gotten to save off for the operator for the next one. But you really have to appreciate what he managed to pull off there. That round could have become real disastrous real quick, but when you have Deathmaker onto a heaven, it was just lamps to the slaughter here. It's going to be sort of an A rush coming out from the side of... Oh, no, Deathmaker! Yeah, the updraft then looks like it didn't do all that much work. And what the hell, the Excali? That has to be the most rubbish entry I've ever seen. Amaterasu was still sticking around in the smoke, has taken a bunch of damage. He's gonna be healed up by his guy though. And you can see, oh boy, Wimp is able to find them both. Hellfighter completely blind. He's probably gonna try and save the Bulldog. Maybe find a couple of kills here and there as doesn't look like Deathmaker's gonna have that operator up and running by the next round. Excali with a 3k. Exo, they answer right back in the first buy round.
It's really, really questionable how that execution went down, but at the same time, Deathmaker, they have a KO. You gotta slow things down. You cannot, and I repeat, you cannot go in for the aggressive pushes that you normally go for, especially when they have a KO. Oh, yeah, when you are a Jet, the KO is your kryptonite. The KO is gonna be the thing that shuts you down in a matter of seconds and forces you to play slow. He's built for that very reason. He is not an initiator by himself, but he's also a controller. He can completely shut you down on any sort of thing that you want to do. And hey, Deathmaker, he's feeling that pressure, man. He wants to go in for swings. He wants to go in for fights, but he's just not able to get it. But now it's all up to Marzel. Maybe he's going to be good for 1 kill at the bare minimum. Flash has come out as well. Flash is his own teammate, sadly, but it's fine. Don't really worry about it. They're going to be able to get themselves back out. A lot of noise being made on towards the side of Vents. Position's being given away, but the side control is going to be established as well. Marzel, come on. It's just 1 kill, Marzel. Oh, it's just not going to be. That's a hard freaking kill, man.
That really is, but Amaterasu is going to be able to clean up on the side. He's going to find another kill on Excali. That's a little bit nasty. Wimp barely avoiding death there. As them collapse on him, but he's ready for this push coming in. Lines them both up as Wimp takes out Deathmaker and Ace. I mean, it's an eco round. You know, he's going to get all those kills, of course, as long as he's paying attention. But still, a 3v2 situation here for the side of EXO. VLT could make something happen. They're instead going to go towards A heaven together. And you can see Ghost actually has a read on this. He kind of expects them to come in from that position. He's going to be hiding in the corner and biding his time. Just letting his buddy do all the baiting. And Hellfighter is actually going to be able to, you know, just pop Ghost's head open. Blackhawk is going to stay around, send a message over. Amaterasu is also going to find another pick. And eventually, gonna die to the spike. Just make sure he gets enough money going into the next round. Only Wimp surviving there, but the lockdown is ready. And there isn't a SOA, so there's no SOA all to try and take out that lockdown.
That was an extremely expensive round from the side of EXO, but in a way, I would say that let it be expensive, it's completely fine, because look at their money, Floki. They're happy. They don't have to care about a single damn thing. Sai's the only one who has 700, but Wimp, he has 6,200 to work with in that bank. They are very dominant when it comes to the terms of their economy, but now is the real test for the side of Velocity. They have that operator in their cards, and Deathmaker, he wants to go in for these aggressive geeks, but the thing is, they're just not letting him. They're able to control Deathmaker so well that they're not peeking him at all. They have nothing to worry about now. With the mid push imminent from the side of this point, it's gonna be good. He's gonna go for 1 kill Monoratsu. He's just not gonna be good for a second. He just waited for 1 second longer. Things would have been better for him. The trigger discipline's just not gonna be there. And with that, it's a 3 versus 5 situation. Make it a 3 versus 4 situation. That's gonna be another one. Make it a 3 versus 3 situation. Deathmaker! He's making it work. Make it a 3 versus
God. 1 enemy remaining.
2 versus 2, it's fine. I was gonna say 3 versus 1 because Deathmaker probably was still alive there. But hey, Deathmaker, it's him with an operator.
1 enemy remaining.
Okay, Ghost.
Okay.
I mean, this is a very doable situation for him. You know, Deathmaker did a lot of work with the operator, but if they're not able to kill off Ghost, it's going to be all for nothing. Ghost going to give a very, very open plant, and even if he dies, yeah, this is okay. He just used Resurrection in this round. He's going to die second time, you know, put up 3 points towards his next ultimate, and that's already becoming a pain for the side of Team VLT to deal with. Ghost might have the wrong read on this one though. Right to Ace has come all the way from A main, but he's checking every single corner. So he's gonna have to do. He wants to try and clutch this one out. Still 2 flashes remaining, but he's choosing not to use it instead. The element of surprise by his side just given over completely. And now the flashes are probably
not clearing up the right angle.
Oh my god, what a flick!
Amazing flick from the side of right to Ace, being able to shut down goals. But this round was way too close for no apparent reason. Plus Floki, they couldn't get the operator. The operator's still on the B side and it's just waiting. It's just...
You know what would have been a complete Giga Chat move? If right to Ace actually picked up the operator before he went for the A side. He's like, you know what? Not only am I going to kill you, I'm also going to save this operator.
I don't think you'll have that much confidence, especially going up against Ghost. Ghost is one of those players that can shut you down really easily if you try to get overconfident against him. So, in a way, right to Ace, he just wanted to, live up to his name of right to clutch. Get that rifle in his hand, got the clutch, and rounds are just as important as getting an operator. Deathmaker's gonna be a little bit sad, but he's gonna be able to slow himself down just a tiny little bit. Okay. Kill that turret, it's good.
Completely destroys that turret, decimates it, makes it explode into 10,000 tiny pieces. And the Killjoy, well, gonna be a little bit low on morale after seeing what happened to the turret, and yes, that's enough. Blackhawk, oh my god!
Smooth.
Lines them up, knocks them down. Doesn't even take a single point of damage.
He's gonna be smooth like butter. He's able to get all the kills. He's able to shut everyone down. Wide swings were beautiful as well. And feels like Team EXO, they know exactly what's up. And they know exactly how to push the buttons of the side of Velocity. They know the angles that they're playing. They know the fights that they are taking. And they're able to punish them beautifully because of it. But the thing is, Velocity, they're not really doubling down on a lot of the different sidelines. It feels like they're playing by themselves once again a lot more on their defensive side. And I don't really know what's up. Their defensive side are well known to be an indestructible wall, but I believe that the iron wall has a massive gap in it that they're just not able to figure out how to fill.
Oh wow, yeah, he actually finds a pick on Hellfighter right off the bat. That is one controller taken off the board, but you still have a Viper remaining, so a little bit hard, but with the weaponry that they have, Velocity are really struggling to do anything over here. Great patience coming in from the side of EXO. Side just playing off of Blackhawk and found themselves enough picks to go and get that spike planted on A. Just make sure you get all those extra orbs. Play as efficiently as possible. Work your way towards the next ultimate. Oh no, right to Ace actually finds the kill. The spike is dropped all the way towards spawn. He's gonna spawn it out.
Could just make it happen, but right to Ace was still in a wall, was not holding that push from the side of Excali.
Why?
And sadly, that's not there. And I think that right to Ace didn't even see the spike.
Yeah. I don't think he did. It looked like from a screen that he did, but he did not. And a very well-timed timeout coming out from the side of Amaterasu as, Velocity, they're just down one round, but they need a breather, and they need to just, understand the way EXO are playing this. They've been playing super fast every single round. It's just like go, go, go as soon as that knife lands and the flash comes in. And it's mostly the ultimates that have enabled them. And now that they actually have Sai's ultimate up and running, they could just, continue annoying the side of VLT and do this for, a fifth time in a row. They could just rush their way towards A, shut down pretty much all the utility that they have on that site, flash their way in. And with the smokes, I think that's pretty much a free site. And if they try to fight, it could get really, really ugly. I mean, I think you pretty much have to give up the site if you're the Viper and the Killjoy playing towards A.
It's going to be a difficult one indeed. Because now, I don't really know what kind of advice I could personally give to Velocity, because they're making a lot of fundamental mistakes in the sense that they're not really holding down on the sides together as a squad. They need to figure out who's going to be playing with who, which angle's going to be playing by whom, and then hold the sides accordingly. And in a way, the thing is that Deathmaker's getting shut down very heavily, and he's under so much pressure. He's trying to play aggressive. He's trying to get some form of damage on towards the opposition, but that's not the case yet. They're just not able to find anything, and now, with the KO ultimate, maybe they can go in for something. And that flash is something that I need to learn as well. I gotta take that from the stream later on. But now, it's gonna be another execution from the side of Team EXO. Heading out down on towards that A side. A control has been established. The Heaven is gonna be taken over. Flashes are gonna be good as well. They have the control, but the thing is, They don't have side control itself. There's 2 players sitting inside of the A side. They need to make a rotation and go on towards B. But are they going to go B? I don't think so. Viper Spit's also in place, and the KO knife is not going to do anything to that Viper Spit now. Positions are going to be strong. Monster's going to be good for 1. Excali's going to be good for a second. But still, the Viper is alive. The Viper is still kicking. Amaterasu is hunting for Excali, but Excali's way too good. It's going to be the thing that takes down Amaterasu a notch. And the Eternal Flame is not going to be burning for any more.
Yeah, great stuff. I mean,
over 2 versus 4.
This is just save the operator, you know, they can't afford any more, you know, economic hurt at this point. They're just going to save their weapons that they have, take him to the next round. And, yeah, this is really the KO effect. I mean, on offense, he just shuts down every single agent on this A site. And if it weren't for that flash, I mean, they would have taken that site for Storm by shot. There's no way on earth that they actually are able to make something happen there. But then again, you know, I mean, even though they delayed their push a little bit, somehow they were able to stabilize, and the 2 agents on site, that was the Killjoy and the Viper, they really had no play. I mean, you know, first it was the KO ultimate, then it was, you know, the knife being thrown out. So, yeah, it just seemed like there's no way on they could actually fight it there. And Sai, that null command coming so well in handy as they claim that round for themselves. Look at the money on the side of EXO. It's ridiculous. Most of the players have over 7,000 creds.
They're rich. They have nothing to really worry about. They're going to be able to hold their position strongly. Those sites are good as well. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be another on the board for the side of EXO. And now Velocity, they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. And Amaterasu is going to pick himself up a judge. But the thing is, the judge is really good if you have the Viper Spit on your arsenal. But now that you don't have the Viper Spit anymore, that judge is not going to be able to sing as beautifully as it could have if you did have the judge in your hand. Deathmaker misses the shot on the turret. Man versus turret. It's going to be the turret to win out on this fight. But it's fine. Play it slow, play it smart. That's the name of the game here, but I don't think that teammates are going to be listening to that.
Man, that KO just setting up Blackhawk so perfectly for that kill. Sai, he founds that pick towards right to ace and mid. That's a very key agent being taken out. No more guiding lights available, no Wolf, no heal. And pretty much all the fighting potential being taken away. They can only hold and hope for the best now on the side of Velocity, unless they played a little bit slow. Muzzle doesn't get revealed, so still has the Sheriff to try and make things work. Tries his luck. Ghost pushes the Nano Swarm somehow. He's still alive to tell the tale, and Deathmaker shutting them all down. But Whip is gonna come in finally with the trade and shut it all down. Muzzle gonna drop his ultimate. It's not in the best of positions actually, so it doesn't cover the entirety of the D side. There's still pockets where you can hide. Like that's exactly what's happening, as Muzzle is gonna get cleaned up. But look at them coming in from heaven, the side of VLT. 2v1. Wimp, 150 points of life to
on the top.
Oh boy, this is just rough. Velocity marching it around for them as they put that one on board. And that's mostly thanks to Deathmaker. If Deathmaker doesn't find those 2 picks, this round looks incredibly different.
Yeah, that was a difficult one indeed. Deathmaker's able to make so much happen because of just that one operator, man. He is under so much pressure. Imagine this situation. He needs to worry about B heaven. He needs to worry about B main. And also, in a sense, he needs to worry about the side of defender side of spawn. Ali was also on the cards, but he was able to get those 2 kills, take down the players on B main, take out a player jumping from heaven, and then finally got traded out by Wimp, who barely got the trade, by the way. If he had 1 more second, Deathmaker would have gotten the kill onto Wimp as well. He hesitated, and the hesitation is what cost him there. But at the same time, now that the operator is going to be able to get a lot of dividends here, Sai picks up his own operator to try and counteract it. This could be a dangerous play. KO on an operator? I don't know, man. That's a little bit iffy for me.
Yeah, it's like a Soa on an operator, right? It's just weird. It's not something you're used to seeing, and I think he even got spotted out there by the Wolf. And Deathmaker,
it's too fast, dude. It's too fast.
And that's all the flashes used from Sai over here. He even gets flashed out, so the operator is hurt now. And Blackhawk, even though he's been brought back to life, I don't see how Sai actually gets this big. Oh, wait a second. He actually legs up Deathmaker to 5 HP.
Oh, that's a body. That's a body. That's a body shot.
Yeah, you have to remember, I mean, Sai, he used a very big weapon in a different tactical shooter, so he definitely knows how to put it to good use. But, yeah, I mean, I really haven't seen him do that as much in Valorant yet. So, quite surprised that he picked it up. Thankfully, Deathmaker is healed back up into the sky, helping him out there, but still a slower approach coming out from the side of X. So they've got a lot of ropes control, but there are 3 players waiting on this A side.
30 seconds left.
Looks like it's gonna come down to
dangerous.
Blackhawk and Wimp. And okay, Wimp is gonna get sucked in by the gravity ale. Oh, right to Ace Finds too, but Side Dreams and Blackhawk, they respond right back. 3v3 still. Fair situation.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, Marcel is gonna be able to find one. That's the spike being taken out here. Not a lot of time remaining for Blackhawk. His job has been done. Deathmaker whips the first few. Nice, but that's okay. No one saw that.
Yeah, no one saw that. It wasn't on stream at all, so it's completely fine. But of course, our producer's gonna go in and go for the instant replay there, just to make sure that Deathmaker adds a little bit of salt onto the wound. But it's completely fine. You have had a couple of shots, you're gonna be able to win on the round. Completely fine at 90. 5 in 5, 4 cards. Even Stevens, ladies and gentlemen. We're not gonna talk about the whiff, but the thing is, now that they have a little bit of a stabilization for themselves, velocity, they are in a good spot. You can see their economy as well. It's not blossoming in a sense like the side of Team EXO, but it's something that they can work around. They have that safety net. But now, how long are they going to be able to play with that safety net is the real question at Deathmaker. Even though he got caught out by a KO knife, he just does not care. He's still going to go in for the swing. He's going to be able to get that first initial kill. And there's no resurrection to try and pick him back up. So it's a 4 versus 5 situation with the A side on the cards, but at the same time, Hellfighter is not going to be giving that up.
Side Dream is also going to get sucked in by the gravity well. Toast. Blackhawk with that ult is looking to get on site, and he's managed to make his way over there, but they're walking past him. Hellfighter is going to reveal his position. Blackhawk, what are you doing?
He didn't know! He didn't know! Oh god!
What the hell did I just witness?
We just witnessed a round from Val Classico.
Ah, boy, that was silly. That was really, really silly coming in from the side of EXO. I mean, I have to say, for all the things that Omen is really, really good at, his ultimate is probably one of the worst ones in the game. Just makes a huge sound, letting everyone know where you are. And on top of that, the only good thing that comes out of it is that you blur the map for a little bit. Yeah, like it even matters against professional teams. Like they don't already know where everyone else is going to be. And now Deathmaker, well, he's spotted a lot of players towards B main. And looks like it's just going to be a couple of Spectres to try and make this one work. Wimp though finds him with a Phantom. Excali with that ult doesn't really do all that much damage. Marzel still sitting around, waiting for them to come into the site.
Just run away, Marzel.
He's actually going to be destroyed by right to Ace, but he gets taken out in that endeavor. As they found what they were looking for. Man advantage with them. Marzel all alone. And a satchel gets thrown his way, but look at that. Hellfighter's got his back. He's going to fight another one as well. Sai before he trades him out, though.
Oh, they're making it work?
Yeah, they certainly are making it work. It's going to be a 2v2 now. But Velocity, they definitely have the advantage, more HP to work with. Spike being diffused. I don't think they hear this. Blackhawk is going to move in to try and find the pick, but the diffuser is taken down. Ghost!
Oh no, he missed the shot! No!
Oh boy, a big whip for Ghost. And a big win to the side of Velocity. 7-5. And our producer is hell-bent on showing every single whiff top shot.
But the thing is, this is not even a whiff, man. Like, you don't expect this play. You don't expect Marcel to do a Hail Mary play like this, dude. He just got caught in the worst possible situation. Marcel gets the one on the Blackhawk and Ghost. He just didn't expect a swing like this. Who swings like that? No one.
I'm surprised that that shot even missed. It did not look like it should have missed, right?
No, the thing, no. You didn't probably notice it properly. I noticed the shot. The thing that Ghost was doing was that he was expecting Marcel to move a little bit more towards the right side, but Marcel went in for the full stop, didn't move at all, and Ghost was trying to overpredict it. He shifted his mouse a little bit too much, and that's what caused the mistake.
It went right over the shoulder, right? You're correct.
Dude, if Marcel crouched in that situation, he was dead. He did not crouch and he was able to survive.
Okay, even Stevens, but that just favors the attackers because you get, on the side and actually able to plant the spike. The rotations are coming in, but, the spike is certainly going to go down. That's a very, very nice KO knife coming in. That's the Sky and the Jet just being disabled completely as Wimp on the flank looking to find Hellfighter, but Hellfighter is so patient. He knows what's up. And with two players
There's
actually
the
committed
sound.
to taking out the flank, this could be problematic. Yeah, they're just gonna walk their way in, try to find Hellfighter. Fighter finds 1.2 with the frenzy, does all the work in the world. And EXO,
Standing.
big mistake from them as they commit 4, or rather 3 players just to try and take out one measly Hellfighter. This Ghost is left in a 1v3. I mean, he has to die if he wants money. Buy round, well, he's gonna get a Deathmaker in the process. Now looking for right to Ace Amaterasu. Well, with the help of Ace, they join their hands together. They're able to take him out, and they survive.
Beautifully done. 8 and 5 on the scorecards, and the first initial place round going in the favor of the side of Velocity. They're gonna be able to take a deep breath. They're gonna be like, hey, we got the pistol round, we can take it down over to that 9 and 5, but at the same time, they cannot get way too comfortable. Once again, thing is, Split is a map that is heavily momentum based. The more momentum you have on this map, the better you're going to be playing, the more rounds you're going to be winning. Now that Velocity have all of the momentum in their favor, I'm expecting EXO to try and take a pause to try and break that momentum, to try and break that snowball effect. But the thing is, EXO, they still haven't taken a pause, and I'm really questioning what they're thinking now. They need this, because Velocity as a team, if they get the snowball on their side, it's going to form into an avalanche soon enough, and it's no longer going to be a snowball.
Oh yeah, and VLT, I mean, they just get this side for free, but it's a 5v5 retake, so that gives them a good chance over here. As you can see, Amaterasu is actually going to be backing off for the time being. Right to Ace, doesn't really spot anything out in the back of that. Well, see, this is Lantern this spot. What the hell is that? I mean, you keep 5 players alive for the retake, and then you go ahead and do that.
What can you do, dude? Just imagine a situation. Amaterasu has his entire setup ready. He has his Toxin, he has his Snorbs, and then you have to worry about the Sky Flashes. There's an Astra with Gravity Well stuns. It's really difficult to retake the A side. You just can't play for retakes against the composition that Velocity are.
I mean...
Give me one feasible way of they can actually go in for a retake. They don't have anything.
I mean,
because...
I don't think they can really retake. You know, I think it's more about doing economic damage. They can just sit around, go for exits, and if they don't get any, just die to the spike.
Interesting. Oh no, someone's gonna die here.
Oh, okay. Mid is not walled off. They're gonna be able to walk in here for free and get a lot of mid control as a result. Well, the good thing is you've got that Sage off A-main. Instead, an Excali, the rope criminal. You've heard of the smoke criminal now. You've heard of the rope criminal as
Ryzen.
Thick. Yeah. Okay, that's a very nice fragment coming in. Gonna push Ace off of that area a little bit, take some damage to his shields too. And Mazo, like you said, well, he's creeping up sewers to try and get back behind his team as EXO looking to mount a defense on their second buy round.
We need to try and figure something out here, because with everything slowing down now, Velocity, they don't know what to do.
Yes.
There's no more duelist. They're stuck inside of vents, and if they try to push out of vents, it's going to be pretty bad for this one. But look at the positioning from the side of Excali.
30
Excali's
seconds
holding
left.
it so aggressively there. And he's going to be able to catch out any of the players who try to walk in down over towards the side of A main. But the thing is, no noise is being made. But with Amaterasu going in for a lineup play right here and now, this lineup is going to cost them. They know exactly what's going to happen. They have the control, but Excali, he needs to make his own push back. He's going to catch out one of the players, but oh my god, Hellfighter, he just jumps. He didn't need to jump, but he jumped. At the wrong possible time, Marcel's going to go in for that full plant. He's going to go in for that swing. Ghost is right around the corner. Shots are going to be good, but Ghost has the better spray control there, and he has the better weapon. He's going to be the one to take down another one, but now Amaterasu is going in for lineup plays with the lineups.
Hey, this confuses all.
Yeah, exactly. It's too late. It's just not going to happen.
Yep. A little bit late there for the side of Velocity. Unfortunate round for them as...
they needed that kill onto Ghost. They needed that kill onto Ghost.
Yeah, they really did. And on top of that, Excali, the way he actually just peeked out of ropes and, you know, caught them off guard, I think that was probably the biggest question mark moment for them. They're like, okay, that just happened.
Yeah, that's called a Tarzan play, man. Whenever I do the exact same Tarzan play, I'm never going to be able to do it. But Excali, this is built different.
Absolutely. I mean, that he pretty much only had one bullet, because that's all you really get while you're on the ropes. You know, it's really hard to control your spray while you're over there, but he makes that one shot count, and that too with a Phantom. Well, one thing is for sure, he has massive gonads, and for now, he's going to continue asserting his dominance over the enemy team as can be huddled up towards BO3. Waiting for the push to come in. That is a very nice fragment coming in from side. The boom bot is going to spot one out and make its way towards another. The paint shot's going to find them, and look at that Ghost. Instantly goes in for the res. I really love the efficient resurrections that the side of X have been putting out, but don't seem to be doing all that much. This might be the opportunity that they were waiting for, though. A 4v3 for them, as Sai still has a good amount of utility remaining. Mazel is going to spot out Ghost and get that kill, but Blackhawk has found Amaterasu. This leaves pretty much right to Ace and Mazel in a 2v3. And a hard one at that, but look
right to Ace, come on!
Ah, boy. Sai was not expecting that. And now Mazel needs to make his way inside side. I think the turret could actually kill him at this point.
Yeah, it can.
Does 22 damage, doesn't it?
But 26 seconds left on the clock. They need to make a decision. And it's all up to right to Ace. He didn't spot on the head. Oh no! He's going to be able to take down Blackhawk. Blackhawk, where are you looking at? I thought that Blackhawk saw him. 14 seconds left on the clock, and this is a round that should have been unwinnable for them. This was such a good defensive hold from EXO on towards the side of mid, but everything just broke apart. He's just able to walk all the way. Heals are going to be coming on down through as well, and Marcel and right to Ace, they're just having a moment there together.
Oh yeah.
They're like, you heal me, I heal you, we're going to be able to be fine.
Yeah. Just right to Ace letting Mazel know that he's got a friend in him. And well, there you go now. All the flashes coming in. Mazel
it's not gonna happen.
There to capitalize on the bait. EXO, that I don't want to say the words because I know I'm gonna take a lot of flack for it, but goddamn, that was a bit of a throw.
Yeah, I have no idea how Right to Ace just walked into B Heaven, went in front of Sai, got that kill on him, got all the information in the entire world. Right to Ace goes back to B Heaven. And somehow kills one.
I can understand what Sai was trying to do there. I mean, I get the idea in his mind. He's like, okay, my A-side player is alone. You know,
no. The thing is, it's fine.
There can't be three. There can't be three. That's probably what he's thinking to himself. But there were.
The thing is that like Sai, it's completely fine for him. He dies out there. Like he wouldn't expect it because Blackhawk is still inside of the B side. I thought Blackhawk was holding B Heaven, but just walks in front of Blackhawk and there's no way to survive that. But now Blackhawk, he's going to be setting up a one-way smoke for his own teammates. And this could just be working out in their favor. Blackhawk, this is dangerous. This is deadly. This guy could be a dagger in the night this time around as well. Ghost on one side, Blackhawk on the other, Vandal and Phantom in hands, but this is just not going to be working out for them. Shots are going to be taken, it's going to be Ghost good for one, Ghost should be good for a second as well, Ghost good for a third! Whoa! He is the one to shut everyone down, but still the trades are going to be going in the favor of the side of Velocity. Never mind. Even though Excali gets taken out there, he's going to be the one to bring everything back for them now. Wimp, it's in a very good spot. Hellfighter, he does have the Astral Wall, but he's not going to use it. The Astral Divide is still on the card. Oh no! We're timing!
Oh boy, I mean...
That's a timing. That's a timing. We can't even live with that.
Yeah, I mean... Oh boy, that's just so unfortunate here for the side effect. So I think this is the second time in a row they probably lost a round that they could have won. I mean, Coates just... you know, carrying the weight of his entire team on his shoulders single-handedly in that round, getting himself 3 picks in a position that he didn't even have any business getting to, by the way. So, yeah, I don't know what else you can expect from this man, but he's really doing his best, and it doesn't seem that X are able to make the most out of it. And now, go into an awkward force spy. Gonna be a Sheriff available on Coast, Excali with the Spectre, Blackhawk going all in with the Vandal Light Shields, and yeah, if they lose out this round, they are done for. And Blackhawk, well, it's like his Vandal's gonna make a difference.
Okay. No one ever does this. No one ever does this, but he's gonna do it.
That is still smart. Sidedreams actually uses his ult towards A main instead, trying to spot out people towards mid, but there's no one towards mid. And Excali,
Deathmaker, what is he doing? Wait a second, he's on top of the box! Okay!
Spike down B.
Just a random ultimate that kills Deathmaker and Amaterasu at the same time. I have no idea what is happening in this game. And now Right Ace is on a flank. He's gonna be good for 2 kills. And somehow, in some way, shape, or form, maybe this is gonna be clutchable for them. But even that's not possible. Velocity, they're not gonna be able to find it. A lot of ambitious plays being made, but Excali just puts a damper on all of their plans.
That was an insane ult coming in from Excali. And that's why I say this man is a bit of a psychopath. Because, you know, when those spidey senses tingle, hey, you're completely screwed. There was... He had no way of knowing. He had no way of knowing that there are 2 people there. And he still ults and lets it go. He's like, oh, well, worst case scenario, we lose. We're about to lose anyway. Might as well do it, right?
Yeah. But dude, Deathmaker, he was holding such an ambitious angle, I have to say. That.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, that angle would have worked so beautifully if Excali didn't go in for the ult and to kill them both there. You know for a fact that Deathmaker would have been safe. He would have killed all of them altogether. No one expects that angle. Absolutely.
Oh no, I think Wimp actually made some noise as a result of him dropping down there, but definitely couldn't catch that. Nice flash coming in from side. It's actually going to catch him off guard, but a
Are you serious?
Scores! Cleans up 2 players with rifles and specters. No way on earth that should have happened. And there you go, there's Muzzle's ult to capitalize on all of this as Sai gonna be forced away from the side. That ult is so deep in B, as they've been forced all the way out.
That is such a beautiful ult. The positions are strong. They're gonna be able to get the entry as well. Amaterasu, you're an absolute god. The eternal flame from the Mangekyou Sharingan is gonna be strong for them. We're in sport 2 of trips, and now it's all done and dusted. It's all over. Hellfighter's gonna be good for 1 kill onto the face of Excali. This could just be the round that they take match point here, ladies and gentlemen. 12 and 7 is right on the cards. Not really a lot of time to go here. Time's taken away, and they're just gonna run on away from this. Ghost is gonna be good for 1 kill, but there's no real time. They need to clear a lot more angles to try and get this round away for themselves. They're not gonna let them save this gun. Zamal Rasa with the swing is gonna be good for his 3rd. Sai, last player remaining. He needs to run on away, and even though he did save the gun here, he's not going to be able to buy anything for his own teammates. He needs to invest in his own utility. So, what do you do? They don't have buys. They're all just gone here.
I think he can drop a Spectre at best, but...
No, he can't. He can't even drop that. He needs to buy his own utility. He had 3,050. He used 1,000, and then because of his utility, he's not able to buy anything.
Well, he drops a Sheriff over to Blackhawk, and Blackhawk's like, guess I'm playing with the Sheriff now. But, yeah, Exo, Rock, neat hard plays. Sai can play a little bit more aggressively this round. The Knight doesn't spot out anyone, but that is such a bait. That's a great flash coming in. Excali, good for 1. The fragment comes out and actually stops them from pushing in. Nice flash coming in from Sai as he manages to stop that push in his tracks a little bit, buys enough time for his team to regroup and concentrate their force elsewhere on the map. And look at Blackhawk. He is coming all the way from spawn. Might just be able to catch them off guard over here.
I think they know. Oh, they know that for a fact that he's trying to be sneaky here. But Amaterasu is, will he check this corner is the real question. Blackhawk, it's all up to you, my man. You cannot miss a single shot here. And Blackhawk is able to find this skill. This is around the side of XOD. This is a round they're going to be able to get. But now this is an intense 1v1 between these 2 players. Blackhawk versus Amaterasu. This is the thing that will set the pace. This is the thing that will set the fight. And Amaterasu, he leaves that angle. He walks away. He wants to try and go in for this execution. Everything's back. They sold things down. But with everyone holding down towards that A side, they're not going to be going anywhere. Amaterasu is going to be good for 1 kill on towards the side of side. Blackhawk, you need to be faster. You need to pull off these flags a lot more quicker. He needs 1 kill. Just 1. Right to Ace is right around the corner. Slap him in the face with that bullet. Come on, do it. He finds out 1. He finds out 2. He misses the shot. Oh no. Paranoia in the cards as well. He's going to go for 1 kill. Come on, go for a second one. Take a one to the other side, and Whip is going to be the one to shut everything down. Things fell apart nearly, but right at the very end, Team EXO's going to be able to survive. They got the kills, they got the hold, and oh my god, Floki, my heart nearly just came out of my throat pretty much on that round. That was too close for comfort.
Oh yeah, I mean... oh boy, Blackhawk, he had an opportunity, but I'm not too sure what he was waiting for there. He waited a bit too long and ended up hurting the right to Ace and not killing him, but it all worked out for them in the end as he did get that pick on Jet. And now, Velocity, I mean, they're okay with this. I mean, they know they've done damage over to the economy. They know that they've put the side of EXO in a very rough spot. And Sai, well, just 1 W button on his keyboard as the wall. I'm not sure whose wall that was. I'm guessing it was Ghost's wall. See wall of crabs area for the time being, but okay. And the flash comes through. It doesn't really get capitalized on though, and Marzel actually spots out the lurk Vim spots out the lurk towards A as Marzel triggers the turret there. A very measured approach coming in from Velocity. Even though they don't have the weapon advantage in this round, they know how to make the side of Exo sweat. This is all about making them desperate, forcing a mistake, forced errors. That's the name of the game. And Coast is lucky to be alive at this point as he's forced away from mid. Play towards Rafters instead, and Deathmaker has found that pick. Matarasu, if he gets shut down here, it could be big.
This is such a common angle for him, man. He always plays this. He always wants to hold it here. The Matarasu is not gonna check him.
Oh, Hellfighter!
Come on, dude. Poor old Blackhawk. He wanted to go for the big play, but he forgot about the side. Rest in peace. I think it's over. There's no way they win this.
Yeah. Well, Excali and Wimp found a kill each, but I don't think this Razor has firepower to shut this one down. Even gets whittled down to 54 HP. Excali, a 1v3 off his life, is gonna get cleaned up. Velocity once again are gonna make it to the grand finals of the Esports Club Gauntlet Season 2. EXO, they're gonna have to make their way to the lower bracket final instead, where Force One is waiting for them.
That's the thing. This is where the entire storyline is made. This is where it all really did begin and where it all really ended. Yeah, in the possibility, this would have been another Val Classico on the cards between these two teams, but in a way, it just did not happen as we would have expected. And so they just dropped the ball in a lot of the different rounds, and it really did hurt them a lot moving on down the line. So we're going to break it all down for you, ladies and gentlemen, as we head on down over towards the match highlights to see exactly what went wrong for Team EXO here, because there were a lot, and I mean a lot of mistakes being made, angles not being cleared, positions not being held as beautifully as they could have. This is the home map of EXO. And remember what I was saying previously when it comes down to this map in particular, the side of EXO, they have a lot more issues here. They have a tendency of causing a lot more problems in this map, primarily because of one thing. They have the firepower. They know how to use their utility. The trades are good, but once again, they're not able to set up their crossfires beautifully on this map. Like the map of Split in particular is all about crossfires. The better crossfires you set, the better your team is going to perform. But in the case here, Team EXO, how many crossfires did we actually see from them? We saw a lot of individual 1v1 gunfights. We saw a lot of really good flanks from them. We saw a lot of good utility usage from them. But where were the trades? Where were the crossfires? There was absolutely none.
Yeah, and this is once again a lot about composure, right? Because if you notice the way they were playing this, they were playing this map initially during the attacking half. They were really, really good with their post plans, really immaculate. Sure, it didn't work out for them in the first round, but the idea was there for the crossfires. It fell apart at the seams eventually when they found a pick or two, but you could see them thinking about that stuff. But slowly but surely, when they start inching behind on defense, they got a little bit too desperate. I mean, there were a lot of rounds where they did a lot of unnecessary stuff. I remember one round in particular where Ghost ended up reviving Sai, and Sai just completely left B Heaven for some reason. I think they all just ended up leaving B Heaven in
Blackhawk was inside, but Right Race just walked in. That made no sense to me.
Yeah, and like this round too, right? I mean, this is no way on earth that
it's unfortunate.
Clutch this one out.
This is just unfortunate.
Yeah, and then Velocity is just able to tear them apart on that defense. I mean, given their lineup, I feel like EXO was a lot better at offense than they were at defense, because they didn't really have that wiper in play like the side of Velocity did. So they were really banking on the KO pick to give them a very potent aggressive half, along with the Omen too, by the way, which on defense it's decent, but it's really Omen's offensive potential that really stands out. Just being able to set up 2 quick smokes for the side, being able to go in, flash for your teammates, fake them out with a teleport, use your ultimate from the shadows, split the map in half. All of that stuff, it just really told me that EXO are playing for the attacking half. It didn't work out for them. I felt like somewhere or the other that attacking half ended up lacking, and in the end, it once again fell on Ghost and Excali's shoulders to carry their team. And while they did do a very, very good job of doing that, while they were the guys who made all that difference, against Velocity, a team who thrives on playing off of each other, it's just not enough, right? Just look over to the side of Velocity. Hellfighter's got 16. Amaterasu's got 16. Right to Ace has got 16. Mazel, he doesn't have the most amount of kills, but every single kill he got
There's a lot of impact.
Frank. And on top of that, he was getting a lot of information for his team as well, right? He was just playing that lurk and securing the backstab. I mean, that's the difference between Velocity and EXO, really. It's just you've got one star on Velocity, that's Deathmaker, but if you look over to the side of EXO, you're trying to set up Ghost as well as Excali simultaneously, and one of these players needs to take a back seat if his team is to find success. I hope they work on that, and I hope they come back. But Deathmaker, man, so much pressure on him every single time though he delivered. Even in rounds that they lost.
That's the thing. Like, Deathmaker is able to do so much with that operator on the defensive side when you consider him being in the back of side of B and somehow getting 3 kills with an operator with players pushing in from B main, players pushing in from heaven, everyone's inside of side, and Deathmaker, he just doesn't care. He's able to turn around rounds in pretty much a snap of a finger. And that's what Deathmaker really does. And in a way, Team EXO, they were just not able to control him as hard as they could have. And I completely agree with your statement. It feels like with 2 superstars on the side of EXO, they're having a really hard time trying to figure out who to actually set up. Do they want to set up Ghost? Do they want to set up Excali? That's going to be the real question here. But moving on down the line, I'm really hoping that they figure something out for the lower brackets here, because I really like the match, but too many mistakes caused them to drop the ball here. Too many rounds being given away pretty much that they could have won. Not having a calm mind is really a problematic matter. But let's head on over towards the brackets here, ladies and gentlemen, to see exactly what it looks like. We, of course, know that Velocity is going to be heading on down over towards the grand finals, but what we don't know is who's going to be joining them, because you do need to remember the lower bracket finals are still on the cards. This is the chance for the side of Team EXO to have that second win, take down Force One, and head on down over to Velocity to show exactly what they have learned from this match, to take that rematch, serve that revenge dish up cold and personal, and show to Velocity that, hey, we lost out once, but we are not going to be losing out again. But the thing is, Force One, they're the ones who took down Team EXO, original Samurai, and previously on season number 1. So in a way, this is also a chance for Force One to get the revenge against Team EXO, take them out, and go up against Velocity themselves.
Absolutely. I think tomorrow's match is going to be absolutely amazing. EXO versus Force One, just a match that everyone's going to be waiting for. And I really think that, Force One and EXO, they both really have a lot at stake for this match. Force One is looking to break into that tier 1 scene. EXO is looking to establish themselves as a top dog as well. But I don't know, when the immovable, what is that? When the unstoppable force meets the immovable object. I'm not too sure what happened.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's a perfect thing. It's good.
Yeah, Force One, unstoppable force, immovable object. That's your Team EXO. They want to make their way to the grand finals to get their revenge against Velocity, but before that, Force One stands in their way.
So that has been said for you, ladies and gentlemen, by none other than Floki himself. So, in a way, we already know what's going to be coming up tomorrow. And hey, if you don't want to miss it as well, make sure to hit that like, hit the subscribe, and also hit that notification bell so you do get notified when we do get live, because you don't want to miss a match tomorrow, because it's going to be a match that's going to be one for the books as well, because Team EXO, they have something to prove. And Force One, they're the ones who have gone through a lot of hardship themselves. And the fact that they're still able to play this good when the roster is not even together anymore just goes to show how potent the players are in general and how good their team chemistry really is. And moving on down the line, if they are able to take this win, it's going to be an incredible one for sure. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, that's all that we have for you for today. And remember, if you want to get notified as soon as we do go live, make sure to follow our socials as well to get the proper timings of when it's all going to be going on down. So make sure you don't miss any of that by making sure to follow our social. All the links down below in the description. And as you're checking everything out there, make sure to check the links as well from our sponsors, and also get yourself a can of Red Bull by scanning the QR code. Stock up for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Also stock up for the grand finals, because Red Bull's going to take a little bit of time to deliver. And if you want to get that best possible energy for yourself, to get yourself hyped up and pumped up as much as you possibly can, we got you covered. Scan that QR code, get yourself a can of Red Bull, get yourself energized as well as checking out the links below from our sponsors. But for now, it's going to be your boy Aggressive, joined by Floki, signing on off. And we're going to be back with you tomorrow with a lot more high intense octane action with the LG Ultragear TC Gauntlet Season 2, powered by W3 Black and AMD Ryzen Radiant. Good night and happy game.
Bye.